Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the pod, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo.
Yes, again, we are live!
Do it for Deuce.
This, my friends, is really the ramp up to the NBA trade deadline. If you knew what I just had to go through to get us back streaming again, you'd be so impressed. Shout out to ChatGPT. How are we doing on a Thursday?
He had to kill two people, jump off a bridge, swim to an island to find the internet once again.
And I wasted about, 8,000 gallons worth of water using AI.
Hey!
Hey, anything for the trade deadline, am I right?
No.
We are live. The NBA trade deadline, less than 2 hours away. We will be here, knock on wood, the whole way through to see what goes down in the National Basketball Association. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. All it does is help our channel grow. This is one of our favorite days of the whole year because we are basketball sickos.
Yeah, no one can stop it. Not even you, internet. Not even you.
They literally could stop it. The internet could stop it. And I don't know, maybe we're getting sniped. Our internet was getting sniped by some NBA executive going, oh, you don't talk about our team this way. Let's cut some wires.
We barely had any time. And now we're back. Oh, and we're talking about it.
So plenty to go over. So many questions around the league.
Give me a hell yeah.
I'm ready to hear some of this. It's been a minute. We will catch you up on things that have been happening today as we go around the NBA with some news of today. All eyes are in Sacramento, at least with us. Will the Kings get anything else done? It seems improbable. It doesn't seem like anybody wants their contracts.
Yep.
Do they want Levine? Sabonis? DeRozan? Malik? No. So now we sit and wait to see if the Kings pull off some sort of miracle to get a deal done, or are we focused on, all right, play this one out in the final 30 or so games. Meanwhile, around the league, Morgan Reagan, we got this update from Shams Charania. The Knicks made a move. Jose Alvarado, Brooklyn's finest, headed to New York from the Pelicans in exchange for Dalen Terry. 2 seconds. They got Dalen in another trade earlier. Meanwhile, the other big news of the day, Giannis Antetokounmpo is staying put. That's according to ESPN. The Bucks have indicated to teams that they are keeping Giannis through the trade deadline and will start making other trades. And they did just that. They connected with the Suns on a deal. Cole Anthony, Amir Coffey to the Suns for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes Davis. We also had Chris Boucher going to the Utah Jazz. The Lakers made a trade. They trade Gabe Vincent, one of our favorite guys.
Oh, love him.
Stockton Kings legend. And a 2032 second-round pick to the Atlanta Hawks for Luke Kennard. Also, the Wolves make a trade. We thought maybe they could be a team interested in Malik Monk. They could use a guard, right? Well, they did get a guard from the Bulls. They trade for Ayo Dosunmu. They trade Rob Dillingham, Leonard Millard, and 4 second-round picks to the Bulls to get it done. And that's where we stand today at the NBA trade deadline as we approach 90 minutes to go. We will be here reacting to it all. Hi, Mo.
Hi, Deuce. This is insane.
Why?
Just all of this today. I mean, everything that's going on today, everything that's going on during the week. And what's are you a wizard? And no, not a Washington wizard. Are you a wizard? Because my internet doesn't work, but somehow we are on YouTube right now. I don't get how that's even working right now.
I'm not going to play a Geek Squad right now, but maybe you close out your browsers, restart your computer and see. And if not, sorry, you got to deal with the fact that YouTube doesn't work on yours.
Oh, and totally fine. I was just more amused at how you got things
Look,
to work.
I was doing anything in my power to be live because I love today. And it's always a mixed
Yes.
feeling about like loving a day like today because here we are as fans going, trade this person, keyword, person, people, families. It's a lot,
Yep.
right? Some of these guys are going, I have to uproot my family right now and go to this spot. Wait, where am I going? What is happening? So we do acknowledge that side of it too.
Yeah, no, it's true. You got to make sure that you're humanizing everything. And it's tough. It's one of those days that I think fans love to celebrate like hope, change, tweaks, all the different things. But got to make sure that you're also talking about the humans that are involved.
Well, let's focus back on basketball because we acknowledge them being human beings and we go, all right, let's really talk about this shit. Let's just start with the Sacramento Kings and where they are at right now. They made a trade. I was on the Athletic NBA trade deadline show this morning. I thought it was supposed to be at 9 a.m. It ended up being 8 a.m. I saw a tweet at 7:59. It says, Deuce Mason's coming up next. Deuce Mason was laying in bed, sipping on some coffee, had to jump out, clear out my eyes, and hop on. And one of the first things they asked me, what are the Kings even doing? The Kings
that
are
how they
back. No, they're awesome people. I love going on with them. But
Anyone that talks about the Kings, yes.
Imagine waking up and the first thing someone asks you is like, what's going on with the Kings? You're like, oh, shit. Okay. Where do we start? My expectations for this deadline may be different than some people out there. I think there are some Kings fans right now that are like on pins and needles going, holy shit, if we don't make a trade, what? This is a joke. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news here.
Yeah.
But being realistic, do you think GMs around the NBA are lining up to trade for some of the contracts on this roster? Whether it's Sabonis, there looked like there were some talks at least at one point with Washington and Toronto. Maybe some teams have some interest there. I think maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
But no one's lining up and going, give me Levine. It is $48 million.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan is someone that I thought could be a guy that would get moved. I think the hurdle here is he makes $25 million. And the teams that are like contending, maybe looking at adding someone like that, adding $25 million is not an easy thing to maneuver.
No.
There are very few teams that can make that happen, right? And I think some people mentioned the Clippers. Yeah, I guess that could be a possibility. Clippers? Or do you think teams like the Clippers or Lakers are waiting to see if the Kings buy him out and then just sign him as a free agent? I don't know. These are the hurdles. And then Malik Monk, I think it's fair to say, as much as we love Malik Monk, unless something changes and we're dead wrong in the next 90 minutes, like the market's just not there. It hasn't been there. Apparently, they were trying to trade him all summer long. No one bit.
Yep.
Now, no one is biting. The Wolves didn't go trade for him. They went for Io. Why? Io is viewed as more of a two-way guy.
Yeah.
Malik is not. Undersized a bit for the guard spot. Yes, an explosive offensive score. I think people like the Kings players. They don't like the number next to those Kings players.
No, which is, by the way, so interesting because when you look around the league, and I feel like you can see a lot of, I don't even want to call them bad contracts. Contracts that just don't make sense connected with certain players on certain teams, because I think where that number doesn't make sense for people, they go, well, they're on a losing team. Well, they haven't helped winning in quite some time now. So why am I going to pay for that person? But I think at the end of the day, if you do evaluate some of these individuals like a DeMar DeRozan, like a Malik Monk, and even with that number connected to them and their contract and the way that they play, they can complement some better roster in a different role because they have to play up in Sacramento. Every person that comes to Sacramento has to play up. DeAndre Hunter also just in a trade this week for the Sacramento Kings, shipping off Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis to the Cavs. DeAndre Hunter played his first game last night with the Sacramento Kings, and I'm already going, oh yeah, he's going to still be playing up with this team. He has to in a different role.
Meaning miscast in a way.
In some
At
ways.
least for now.
At
Yeah.
least, exactly. At least for now until there's more tweaks
Dude,
around this roster.
The Kings are in the worst spot, I would say, in the NBA at this point. And this was before the season.
Fair.
And unfortunately, this is where it's at. And it sucks. As a fan, it's the toughest spot to be in because you want the change. You know this team isn't it. And when you looked at the starting lineup last night and saw Westbrook and Levine and DeMar and Hunter and Sabonis, you're like, all right, I mean, we've won 12 games this year, and this is what we're rolling out here is a whole bunch of veteran guys.
Yeah.
Like somehow our starting lineup got older by adding DeAndre Hunter, right? So that's where fans look at it and go, dude, just make a deal, get something done. I just think it's easier said than done at this point in time. The Sabonis one is something that once more reporting comes out, maybe we learn more that the Kings had an opportunity to move him. You know, Mark Spears had that tweet yesterday talking about at one point the Wizards had the conversation with Sacramento about shipping Middleton's expiring contract and a pick to the Kings, and the Kings were not interested in that. Maybe at the time Scott Perry's thinking, I can get more from Toronto. I'm still going to play this one out. Well, the Wizards move on. They make the Anthony Davis trade. Then it shrinks the pool even more. And now you're left with going, okay, where do we move him if we do?
I know it's about not making a trade to just make a trade. And with someone like Sabonis, you see value to him, his game, and what he can do around the league, just as a rebounding machine, as a veteran player, a leader. He's so good for so many different things. And I think that's why Scott Perry and his team probably value him at a high level. But at the same time, there's only so many teams right now, at least as constructed, that he makes sense on as a big, because he's going to demand a lot of playing time as a big on the team. And then you go to his flaws, being undersized, not being the rim protector that you want to see, not being able to space the floor like you want to see. So I understand wanting to get the most out of him and not getting screwed over here in Sacramento, because that's what we've seen with so many different trades over the years for the Sacramento Kings. So I get the patience, but at the same time, I also understand the fan base being like, dude, I want to see some shit.
I get it. I think it's easier said than done. And when you've got bad contracts that no one wants, there's several ways you can go bad. You want to attach picks to those? No, you don't.
Yeah.
I see someone in the chat mentioning, well, if you're the Kings, take on RJ and take on Pirtle's contract. Here's the problem. It's been reported that if they're moving Pirtle's contract, they're going to have to attach picks to it. Why? Again, going back to what we were just saying about Sacramento, it's a bad contract for a guy that has back issues right now. And so you have to attach picks to get off of him.
Yeah.
But you don't want to attach too many picks. And teams are going, well, we're not taking on his shitty salary of $81 million here if you're not attaching the appropriate amount of picks to it. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one right now. And we'll see how this plays out the rest of the way as we are less than 90 minutes away.
We saw RJ Barrett is questionable today.
No, he is out.
Oh, he is out.
RJ Barrett not playing today for the Raptors. Injury management. It's probably just injury management, but like we could speculate.
We liked it. Even this whole week when Domas the other night was out with a lower back soreness, we were all like, sure, his back hurts. And then you saw it last night and it was like, oh God, he's like holding his back. It really hurt.
In the chat, Jack says, Pirtle costs an extra 2 years for zero production and you get mid-20s picks. Yeah, and maybe that's how teams are viewing it. It's like, why are we taking Pirtle? Like, Pirtle has zero value right now until he can play actual basketball games and not just like footage of him launching threes at practice.
I know. I mean? No, and I get it. And I think what we heard a lot from last night, people were like, you know, they're second round picks. There's no value. There's no this. I mean, the Bulls within this last week got 9 second round picks or 9 picks or whatever it was. So they have, I think it's second round picks, but so they have a total like 14 now. And you saw what OKC did with Jared McCain. They traded a shit ton of picks, like 3, I think 2 second rounders first, whatever, to the Sixers for Jared McCain. That's where you see the value still in these picks. And Sam Presti is so good at utilizing his second round picks and using them as assets and attaching them to people. And teams are still very interested in picks, even if they're not all first rounders. And that's why for the Sacramento Kings, you know, I just hope that they can keep collecting and going in that direction as well. If there's something there that makes sense.
If you guys have not done it yet, help us out. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. All it does is help our channel grow. That's why we say it's not because it like boosts our ego going, dude, we got 100 likes now. Yeah. It's like, no, we just want more basketball fans around the world to see our content. And we're going to be here for the entire NBA trade deadline.
I know. God, I cannot believe the internet took away 15 minutes from us, or like 20
it
minutes.
was longer than that.
Was it
It was
really?
like a half hour, dude.
Oh my God. The way that you were working though, I was just like, it didn't feel like that long. I was very impressed. But yeah. So now we're here. Nothing new from when we started at 9:45 to right now. But this whole week, Deuce, got to give some love to the NBA trade deadline week.
You know what? Let's give some love to the trade deadline. Today's been a little long. It's kind of boring. What's going on? But
Hey, nuh-uh. When anything happens, Jose Alvarado.
that's a cool move,
Right.
Yeah, I like Jose Alvarado. The Giannis news, I'm not totally surprised with. You know, if I'm the Bucks, you can be patient with this.
100%.
Like, why rush into a deal just to get one done and wait until the offseason?
So does this have us rethinking about Zach LaVine and that still being a possibility for the Bucks?
Oh, stop it, Morgan. Reagan. What?
I'm just saying because
Trust me, if you want to talk about some Kings, just pure speculation,
Yes.
us spitballing here.
I love
I have two
speculation.
thoughts.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, could the Levine thing technically be a possibility for the Bucks? I guess, but like, here's the problem: you don't know when Giannis is coming back off this calf thing that he's been dealing with. So, is it even worth it?
I would say no, it's not worth it at all.
I mean, if Giannis comes back and you made some tweaks, they added to the front line today by adding Nick Richards to the fold, Nigel Hayes-Davis, if that does anything. So they got a little bigger up front. Does that allow them to get off a couple of contracts? Go get Levine and be like, hey, at least like post deadline, Giannis comes back. We're kind of in the thick of things. We got Levine, we got Rollins, we got Giannis.
Yeah.
Let's just see what it looks like. And worst case scenario, if we have to trade Giannis this upcoming offseason, Levine's a $48 million expiring contract.
Expiring.
But what's in it for the Kings? Just to get off Levine and be like, hey, it's addition by subtraction.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's not just a trade to make a trade. Zach LaVine, again, what we saw last night from the Sacramento Kings against the Memphis Grizzlies, yes, the Sacramento Kings
Levine
did
didn't
lose.
play last night.
You're such a dick. He did play.
Oh.
And my whole point to that though is what we saw with minute distribution with some of the veteran players. I can live that life. I can do that. No one getting over 30 minutes. And my point to that being though, with Zach LaVine, if you did move it, it's like great. Then you are going into a
fine,
new
Morgan.
direction.
Fine. You want Kyle Kuzma,
Ah, shit.
Bobby Portis for multiple years? Is that worth it to get
Bobby
off?
Portis, yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Portis is not that guy anymore.
Dude.
Bobby Portis, Morgan, just so you know, he's got next year at 14.5 and a player option for 15.9 after that.
I would take his toughness for all of those millions. Absolutely. I don't care how old he is. I'm taking it. And especially if you are still looking to get off Sabonis in the offseason or something else, and then you have someone big, tough like Bobby Portis with a whole bunch of young guys, sign me up, please. And no Zach LaVine in his contract, sign me up, please.
They have right now, their front line, Giannis, Turner, Kuzma, Portis. Then you add Hayes Davis, Nick Richards to the fold. I mean, it does make sense they want to get off some of these guys at this point, right? Unless they're just like, yeah, screw it, we want all this size.
Well,
I mean, maybe it's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Or we are just speculating.
Well, obviously, that's what the trade deadline's for, and there's nothing happening at the moment. The next one.
That's what it's for.
The Bulls have been tied to Sabonis. And it's been a few days since the Bulls and Kings have made a deal. I feel like we're a little overdue for a Bulls-Kings trade.
Yeah.
They have to make a trade.
At least every 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, they were just a part of the Keon Ellis thing, that 3-team deal. They were part the Levine deal last year.
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan deal. The list goes on. There's a lot of trades that they have been involved with.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, looking at the Bulls roster now, with all the guards they have like no bigs. They did get my guy, the big wagon, Yabusele today.
Big wagon.
Dude, first team all wagon, and it's someone who's starting to get a little bit of a wagon now.
Let's see. So they have their guards, Giddey, Simons,
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Look at this. Okay, so Giddey, Trey Jones, Colin Sexton,
forgot about
Jaden
that.
Ivey, Simons. They just signed Mac McClung to a two-way deal.
Genius.
They still have Patrick Williams' contract at Coro. They added Leonard Miller. Yabusele's in the fold. They got Usman Jang, Jalen Smith, Modest Buzelis. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just content doing what they are. I don't know why they would be a Sabonis team, but I'm like, I don't know. Is that a team?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I don't know. I mean, they have a shit ton of picks to play with. Seriously. I mean, that's what you see teams like Sam Presti have success with a whole bunch of picks, a whole bunch of assets, being able to make some moves, even second rounders. I know that's not attractive to everyone, but once again, it's about like stacking them up a little bit and having those assets, being able to connect them to whatever you need.
Let's get to some super chats. A shout out to Liddy for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Our guy Steven Brown, a member.
Thanks, Steven.
West Side Kings fan, a member for 44 months.
Amazing.
Saying, can we get some John King today, Deuce? John King might make an appearance at some point. And then another super chat of $2 from Ellis saying, a lot of picks in these trades, but none for Keon Ellis. Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised they couldn't even get some sort of second round pick. In fact, they gave up a second round pick to get that deal done.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are a ton of picks out there for Ellis in that regard, but you would think they were able to get one. That's why I keep going back with that trade. You asked me this the other day. Would you feel better if there was like some pick coming back? And the answer is yes. Yes.
But here's the thing. If that was out there in a different trade and someone like a body like DeAndre Hunter wasn't connected, I don't give a shit about the pick. I want an established right now player, even though I know, it doesn't match the timeline of right now. You got to build somewhere. You can't just
What was that?
Just whatever.
Okay. You got me excited. I thought there was a trade alert.
No,
You get some
I don't even
random
know.
alert.
I don't even know why.
Can you lock in?
Anyway, my whole point is I'm down to start building the established players to try and create these next 2 years, whatever it's going to be, in the right direction and not just have to build through the draft, because the Kings can't build through free agency. Nobody wants to come to Sacramento, small market and losing culture for so goddamn long, can't keep consistency. Nobody wants to be a part of that, except unless you're a veteran player where no other teams want you, and then Sacramento is willing to pay you and they can go in that direction.
Do you want some just random rumors since we're just spitballing here?
Yes.
These are just rumors, nothing breaking at this point, but we're obviously monitoring social media. And if you have anything that you see, you could drop the link and let us know. Jake Fisher reporting the Sixers are indeed discussing trades to move veteran guard Eric Gordon. Not really a crazy thing there.
Okay.
He also reports the Bucks called some teams this morning, sharing their willingness to take back minimum salary contracts for draft assets, while Milwaukee is definitely still looking to buy on the other hand and add a piece next to Giannis as well. Could that be Zach LaVine? We're monitoring the situation. Could LaVine go from Capital City to Milwaukee, Wisconsin? It's kind of a swing area. Giannis, will he stay there? He could be on the move. Several teams he could go to, but right now, Milwaukee trying to make sure they hold on to Giannis. It's a key position for them.
I love it.
Okay.
Someone said in the chat, Eric Gordon is still playing?
Eric Gordon, yes. Breaking news at this hour, still in the NBA after all of these years.
James says, you guys have to light the beam for good luck right now. No. No, don't do it.
I'll be honest, I haven't been able to fix that. It's not working through my Bluetooth, and what a year for that to go bad, huh?
Oh my God, you guys are funny. Also, someone else was wondering if Jebediah did get fired for the internet issues at the beginning of the stream.
It was not his fault. We also got a question about Adam Wojnarowski.
Yes, I saw that as well.
Adam Wojnarowski, believe it or not, somehow is in Antarctica right now.
That is confirmed. It's actually confirmed.
I don't know what to tell you.
He can't join us because for some reason he took a vacation around NBA trade deadline.
Maybe I'm gonna text
Okay,
him and see if we can get a video update from him.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking at some things on Twitter. Bobby Marks put, starting the offseason, Milwaukee will have 3 tradable firsts available to use in a trade: 2026, 2031, and 2033. Okay. Anyway, picks flying everywhere. Milwaukee, the rumors coming out today, or was that yesterday? Giannis probably not going to be moved.
This morning, I know time doesn't really matter.
Is that when it happened? Jesus. Okay, this morning, Milwaukee, Giannis probably not going to be moved, which absolutely means that they're still looking to pair something.
I mean, but what's really gonna sway Giannis at this point? It's like, okay, I'll stay.
It's not about, I think Giannis is already one step out the door.
Okay.
But they believe that they can sway Giannis. So if you believe you can sway Giannis, you do everything you can to do it. I wouldn't go in that direction. I would still be patient with Giannis. I wouldn't do anything else at this trade deadline, and I would try and look for a new home for Giannis Antetokounmpo in the offseason.
And who knows who could be involved at that point? That could be
That's what I'm saying.
OKC, San Antonio, who claim they're not into it.
Or
but-
maybe, the Warriors could trade Porzingis.
Dude, let's talk about the Warriors right now because they trade Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Porzingis. At best, Porzingis is able to contribute, but he's on an expiring contract. At worst, this guy has had major health issues. And I'm not even talking about his knee or anything.
Yeah.
We're talking about the illness he's had to overcome and
Yeah.
how I forget the exact thing it's called.
Do you want me to look it
PO
up?
something. But it elevates his heart rate. It's not a good thing he's dealing with.
Let's see. Nope, that's not it. I'll try and find it.
So anyway, the point is, it's what are you really getting? He's played 17 games this year. You get off Kuminga, so I guess you get the expiring contract. But this Warriors front office had been pushing this Giannis narrative forever, and then it comes out, it's the Bucks don't even want to talk to the Warriors because Giannis doesn't want to go there.
Right.
I'm like, wait, you've been pushing this for years and that you just found out that Giannis doesn't want to go there? Yeah, because it makes sense. Giannis is looking at the situation going, okay, I go play with Steph for a year and then he retires. Now I'm just Giannis on the Bucks of the West Coast.
POTS.
POTS, dude. Thank you. The chat also knew it right away.
Good job, Dr. Chat. Love it.
So the disorder
Yeah, do you want to read it?
of the automatic nervous system, it can cause rapid heartbeat, dizziness, fatigue, and weakness, especially when standing or exerting effort. Probably one, that sounds miserable to deal with just in day-to-day life, but probably just absolutely debilitating to deal with if you're trying to play a professional sport. I mean, it's crazy. Just so you know, Morgan's adjusting Carlin at this hour.
Jesus, he's freaking. Yeah, POTS. That sucks. On top of all of his other injury history and everything else, but he's an expiring deal, and for the Warriors, I don't know. I just don't know what it means. But at the same time, fan base was going to be pissed off whether they made a trade or they didn't make a trade.
Well, the only way they weren't going to be pissed off is if they got Giannis. In the chat, this is a comment of the day nominee from Heel Wilson. Giannis, more like Giannis. Am I right?
Amazing. Genius. Love it.
Love it. Okay, so we are an hour and 14 minutes away from the deadline, and now it's quiet. Are we really about to be faced with something where there's nothing else that happens?
Yes, that can absolutely happen.
No, what's your prediction?
Oh, yes, that is my prediction. Nothing else is going to happen. You were the one last night, not even...
No, time out.
What?
You were the one last night that said you thought Giannis was going to be traded. I said, no, it's not happening.
Yes.
All I said is I think the Kings have one more move left.
Correct. And so...
One more move.
Time to celebrate.
They don't have it. And I don't either.
Someone in the chat also was saying Steve Kerr is probably so happy to move Jonathan Kuminga.
I'm sure he is. Also in the chat, I see Andre Perry, wake up. What do you want him to do?
I love it.
You don't want any one thing the Kings have.
Hey, let fans be fans. I think fandom is amazing, and that's
Yeah.
what makes it. I like whenever I read those things, I love it because it's like there's desperation there, but there's also like irrational thinking of how these people are supposed to go about trades. Sometimes I feel like people would like to see GMs threaten each other for people. Oh my God.
Yeah. The other thing I was wondering about, I was exchanging some messages with a friend today about this, and they brought up, hey, is that Kuminga to the Hawks trade finalized yet?
I mean, I guess technically we haven't seen like the Hawks put out an official.
Well, because and the reason it got brought up is because our buddy Grant Liffman, who used to work for the Atlanta Hawks front office, he now works for NBC. He had a tweet last night that says it's not a foregone conclusion that Kuminga will stay with the Hawks. They could move him before the deadline. Now, I don't know if that was reporting or just like, hey, I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion.
he knows people.
He said with the deadline approaching, a team would have to move quickly to make something work, which obviously makes it unlikely. There's no pressure for the Hawks to move him, but they're also going to be opportunistic if something worthwhile presents itself. And I bring that up because that trade, could that be expanded to a 3-team trade?
Yeah.
And this person suggested, what if you did something like, all right, Porzingis goes to the Hawks, from the Hawks to the Warriors.
Okay.
Kuminga and Ricochet to Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, that would
And Sabonis to the Hawks.
But within this 3-team trade, obviously the Warriors would have to be okay and a part of this.
Yeah, of course they'd have to be a part of it.
But why would they? They don't want Jonathan Kuminga in Northern California. They
That's
do
true.
not want that man in Northern
No, that's
California.
true.
So
No, that's
it's,
true.
That's
Do you think that's a holdup?
No, I think that's irrational thinking.
Okay.
Like it's so cute.
But what I would say is that they don't want that, but they definitely did not want Malik Monk. They obviously didn't want anything from Sacramento.
Yep.
Well, they're not getting anything from Sacramento in this regard. They're getting Porzingis, an expiring contract. I don't know. People in the chat are popping up about Sabonis Raptors not dead yet, and I need to know where they're seeing that.
Where are you
Again,
seeing
we
this?
are in a live stream, so you don't fuck with us, dude. There's no trolling. We're friends here. Okay, so if you're gonna say something, you gotta tell us where you see it, cite your source. And if it's like Joe Random guy who just calls themselves an insider on X, it doesn't count.
Joe Random. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, love Joe Random and down to look at Joe Random's tweet, report, whatever, but also just let us know who it is. Sean is wondering what time Adam Wojnarowski will make an appearance today. Like
I do have a message out.
Oh.
I do have a message out to Adam Wojnarowski, and I'm waiting to see if there's any update from Antarctica. I don't know why he's there.
He's literally in Antarctica. So, yeah, it's really going to be tough to. I wonder if he's even paying attention.
Also, a Scooter says James Ham said that this morning. All right, well, maybe it's not dead. I'd be interested. And let's talk more about the Raptors component to this, because some of the pieces that have been mentioned have been moved, and they also made a trade to get a center last night. They traded for Trace Jackson Davis.
Yes, they did.
From the Warriors for a future second-round pick. I mean, he's a backup big. And, you know, at this point, it's like for big man depth, you could see like the Raptors going, I'll take a swing at this. We need some depth. But that doesn't solve their need. It's not like they're going to all of a sudden go, dude, TJ. We lost out on Sabonis and Anthony Davis. We got our new guy, TJD, and he's starting for us. He's not going to be starting for them.
No.
I mean, I don't know. Is he going to be playing sometimes? Maybe. But they definitely want to add size up front. Maybe they can get something done with Sacramento. That seems unlikely. The other thing we haven't talked about yet.
Whatever.
God, I love the trade deadline. Let's go.
That's ridiculous. Fire, deadly.
I didn't even mean to play that one.
Hell yeah.
The other thing that we have to talk about is like the John Morant thing. He was in Sacramento last night, chilling, watching his Grizzlies beat the Kings.
Jesus
Kings have
Christ.
now lost 10 in a row. And I know the Kings have been tied to John Morant. I feel like that's more the Grizzlies trying to push that narrative. And I'm sure Sacramento's like, dude, yeah, we'll take him if you give us a first-round pick and something else with it. But I don't know. There's been talk with Pirtle maybe going to the Grizzlies. Does that become a bigger trade where Sabonis lands in Toronto and then Ja and something else comes back here?
Weird. Very weird.
I don't know.
Something that we have also discussed in when we discuss John Morant.
We've got a trade alert. Shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, a trade alert. It's not a big one.
Is it?
But we'll get to it anyway because this is the NBA trade deadline. We are approaching the final hour. The Denver Nuggets have made a move. They are sending Hunter Tyson and a 2032 second round pick to the Brooklyn Nets for the lesser favorable of a Clippers Hawks 2026 second. Denver creates an open roster spot for the buyout market and gets out of the luxury tax.
Hey, good for the Denver Nuggets.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, that wasn't very fun. But hey, teams making their tweaks and opening up a roster spot for who? Who?
DeMar DeRozan when he's bought out. I don't know. Hunter Tyson. Hey, well, if you're the Nets, that's definitely someone you pick up. Why not? That's fun.
Yeah, young. Why not? Young. I just go, young.
In the chat, Dilla says, sigh. Wake up, Perry.
That's so great.
Okay. What do you want him to? I need anyone that's saying wake up, Perry right now. Tell me right now your game plan, dead serious. What do you want him to do?
Or like, what would you, if you could ask him a question right now, put your question in the chat. Like you are sitting one-on-one with him. What would be your question? Be normal. Don't be weird. Be normal. I'm so curious because like, if you are feeling that way, well, back it up with the question and or how you would go about something right now. And you have to remember, there's two teams that have to be involved and you can't threaten anyone. I repeat, you can't threaten anyone.
In the chat, I Love Golden Blue says the Nuggets might get Conley in the buyout market. I mean, Conley can barely play anymore.
Hey, be nice.
Also,
What?
TJD is for sure going to the Kings after Mo said he was shit last night.
Dude, that's so... No.
Just to be clear, she'd correct herself right away. And she
Right
was comparing
away.
him to Sabonis and AD.
I did not... That's so mean and so not like how I would describe a player. But it just came out because it was like, well, that's where we were going with things when we were talking about bigs. But yes, that's usually what happens. And even going back to John Morant, like... We've talked about like, oh man, we don't want that to happen. And then once we heard that his value was so low, we're like, ooh, could you buy so low that it just makes sense? It just makes sense to get off a contract. It makes sense to bring him here, whatever else, give him that second chance. But it would have to be so low. And maybe even they attach a pick. I don't think anything like that's going to happen.
Some questions for Scott Perry. James says, Perry, what is the direction we are going? First of all,
we've asked him that question 100 times.
Time out. You're going to sit down with Scott and go, hey, Perry. Hold on. Do we have an update? Yes, we do. I think this is a minor trade, so I just want to make sure we're getting the details right. My phone's being weird, so we're just going to lock in. We do have another trade. Is this involving the Nets? We have a trade to report in the National Basketball Association.
Okay.
Where is it? This is involving the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets, it looks like. The Celtics are trading Josh Minot to the Nets. That's all we have at this hour.
Minot. More like, why not?
Yeah, I guess that's it. Good job there, huh?
Thank you.
Anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. The person saying his question for Perry.
Perry,
and
yes.
he just straight up called him Perry instead of Scott. What is the direction are we going? Rebuild, blow it up, trying to stay mid? What are we doing?
Don't we know this answer?
I feel like we know this answer.
Yeah.
They've got shit contracts, and what they're trying to do is like get rid of some of these contracts, whether it's via trade, let them expire, and build this the right way. Did you see the lineup at the end of the game last night? They're clearly focused on, all right, let's start playing these young guys. Devin Carter, Cardwell, Nick Clifford in there at the end of a game that was winnable. They're trying to make sure they get a good draft pick in the top 5 and then build this out the right way.
So you wasted your one-on-one
Yeah. Now Scott's like, okay, I already answered
He's like,
that.
cool. That's all you wanted to know. I thought I've said that in every single interview that I've done.
Derek says, how does your current vest contribute to the 5 pillars? Okay, there's 6 pillars. I like
Get
how
it
the
right.
pillars have become like a joke when it's like, one, look, every organization should have those pillars. But because it was said so much, people are like, oh, what about the pillars? Even media last night asking Doug, hey, how does DeAndre Hunter fit into the pillars? It's like, can we just say the team? Why do we have to be like how does he apply to the pillars?
You know what happens though? There's verbiage.
so stupid.
There's verbiage that is used by whether it's front office guys, coaches, or whatever. It's the same thing that happened with Mike Brown. Mike Brown would use certain words, and then you'd hear the media attached to that because they go, "Okay, this is how we're going to connect and have the same language."
We also have a super chat. Appreciate this.
Thank you.
From SJ Raquel saying, thanks for making my 2.5-hour drive to San Francisco tolerable. Appreciate all your work.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for being here. And remember to hit that thumbs up. It's not for our egos. It is just so then more and more people can see the stream.
Yes,
So thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay,
It's
I
for
just want
Deuce's ego.
Josh,
Let's be real.
Minot to Nets, and then Tyson to Nets. I'm just writing this shit down. All right, let's read more comments here.
I know. I want to see if anyone else has their questions to Scott Perry or what. I mean, what are you dying to know, or how would you go about this situation that he is in right now?
Well, we know the answer. Corey has the answer.
Oh, what?
Darren Peterson will fix everything.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hey,
That's the shit I love
I mean,
to hear.
Darren Peterson Sabonis next year could be fun.
Oh, I keep Sabonis for
Actually,
7 more years.
Let's just be honest
What?
about it. Darren Peterson and Deuce Mason might be fun.
I don't get it.
Anybody with Darren Peterson.
Got it. I get it. Deuce, you didn't. I mean,
No, it's just don't blame me for you not understanding something.
so all you said is Darren Peterson and Deuce Mason might be fun, and my brain was supposed to process and connect with, oh yeah, Deuce is putting himself on a basketball floor with Darren Peterson
yeah,
in the 2-man game, acting like he would make him good.
I have to pee. Sorry.
Go pee. Get out of here. That is so stupid. Morgan Reagan and Darren Peterson would fucking break ankles everywhere on the blacktop. Let's go. Send us to Roosevelt Park. Let's see. AJ for Peterson. Yes, we already got the Eric Gordon trade. Oh, no, we didn't get the Eric Gordon trade. I'll have Deuce come back and do his music shit and all that different things. And that is right. Eric Gordon is still in the NBA. Some people are talking about AJ DeBonsa now. Get it. Love AJ. I am higher on AJ than I'm actually higher on Darren Peterson's game. But it's just availability is the best ability.
He played 36 minutes last
And he
game.
played 36 minutes last game. The game before that, he played only in that first half, the 20 minutes. And, I'm just like, whoa, what's going on with all this cramping? When are we going to figure this out? Just scary to be in that position. You just want someone on the floor. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Love you too. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, the whole Darren Peterson thing, I'm not saying it's ignore what's going on with him at all.
Right.
But also, he played 36 minutes in the last game and banged in 2 threes on a road victory. Like, if you watch the game outside of BYU, maybe you would see that.
Did Eric Gordon get traded or anything?
I mean, I don't think
Someone
so.
put it in the chat, and so then I was just like,
Oh, wrong one. We do. Shams with an update on that. By the way, we are less than 1 hour away from the NBA's trade deadline. Will the Sacramento Kings make a move? Do they have a surprise in store, or are we going to be a little bit let down? Could Sabonis be on the move? Is it still alive? Could he be going to Toronto? What about John Morant? Could he be on the move today? We just got word about a trade from Shams Charania. We mentioned the Celtics trading Josh Minot to the Brooklyn Nets. The Sixers are trading Eric Gordon and a 2032 second-round pick swap to the Grizzlies. This gives the Sixers the flexibility to complete a conversion of a 2-way contract for Dominic Barlow, who will get a standard contract. Meanwhile, my coffee's getting filled up right now. We're keeping an eye on everything around the NBA. The other stuff. Bojack is in the building. Jose Alvarado going to the New York Knicks. Jalen Terry 2 seconds. We mentioned Josh Minot going to the Nets and Hunter Tyson going to the Nets as well. Shout out to everyone hanging out with us. We are staying up to date with any Shams Charania alert. If there's anything else going around the association, you let us know in the chats. I read this tweet. If the Kings don't do anything besides the Hunter Ellis trade, the fans should get to find them. I need to have a real, like, can we help me out here?
What?
Like, I just read this tweet, and I don't know why I'm getting so irritated with this notion. Like, I want the Kings to make a trade too. Okay, I would love to see the Kings make a deal. Okay.
Okay.
But when
put
I
on the
see
music for
something,
this?
yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna turn it down. When I see something about the Kings should get fined if this is the only trade they make, like the fans should be able to find, I go, again, we're talking about people who cover the league. I'm like, what do you expect them to do?
Wait. Two things. Don't be mad at this first question. Why does that even bother you?
Just annoying.
And second thing, you guys, I go back to this. Scott Perry has been here for months. Got a trade done with DeAndre Hunter. Yay. We've been bitching about having a 6'8" wing depth. Yay. You got something. All right?
2 years too late. But yeah,
Scott Perry has been here.
I get that.
Scott Perry wasn't here 2 years ago. So anyway, you got rid of some of the 700 guards you had on this roster. One of the guards being a fan favorite. Everyone was so high on, obviously, around the league. Not even if it was reported that 29 teams were interested in him, 14. It doesn't matter. You really didn't have that. And I believe what is pushed out there during the trade deadline, when you're trying to make people look more attractive, you're going to hear all these different things planted. All right. So I think some of those things were planted. I love Keon. I love him as a human being, love him as a player. That's just not what it was around the league for picks and everything else. So anyway, you get that thing done. Scott Perry has been here for months. He gets fucked with a Sabonis contract that he did not make, that he did not do, the Zach LaVine contract, and now he has to figure it out. My whole point to all of that is I'm just giving it a little bit more time. I will not be okay if we get to the offseason and nothing else is done, or we get to the next season and nothing else is done, and this is the roster. That's when you can get pissed off, do your whole thing.
So my pushback on all this is he also signed Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook, and
Sure.
those guys got in the way of someone like Keon Ellis or Malik Monk, and that hurt their value. What could he have gotten more
You
from
needed
those
a point
guys?
guard. You needed a point guard.
I get that, but
you have to remember the timeline. You needed a
didn't-
point guard.
Okay, you didn't need both of them.
I completely agree with
Okay,
that.
and so that, and it's also understanding, like, how do we clear out time for the other guys?
100%.
Because if your job was to maximize the value of the vets to
Agreed.
get off of them, well, you didn't maximize the value of the
Agreed.
vets. They've struggled. They had a ton of injuries, and then you're not playing Keon Ellis with any type of regular type
Agreed.
of rotational minutes. How are you going to get anything?
By the
back?
way, he drafted Neat Clifford and Maxime Reynaud and took on Dylan Cardwell,
Sure.
who undrafted, right? Like, you even look at those pieces right there and you go, intrigued. I'm intrigued. You're not talking about generational talent, star players, future all-stars or anything else, but you're looking at trying to build the depth of this team and start in the right direction. I have no reason to stick up for this right now. I just think it's like, I feel like I'm being rational with this thinking. And what I will say about this, though, with Neat Clifford, the only thing that really irritated me when some of those vets were signed, and even Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook, it wasn't even about Keon Ellis and everyone else. I was thinking about Neat Clifford being a facilitator, being a ball handler, and
That's what
why
I'm
we
saying,
couldn't
though.
see that. But
But that's why you don't sign both of those guys, Morgan. And that's the other thing, too,
you
is,
got off one of them.
yeah.
Okay.
The one you signed over the offseason.
Right.
And
Who-
you had to attach Keon Ellis to it. My point is, I'm not even upset about them trading Keon Ellis, but we're talking about maximizing assets. And you had a young player that seemingly a lot of teams were interested in. You weren't playing him, okay? The
Yeah.
Cleveland Cavaliers are a far superior team than you. They are playing him.
Was he not playing him, or was Doug Christie not playing him, though? Like, that's
It doesn't
the other
matter.
thing.
You have to all be on the same page. That's part of an organization. The
For
coach and
sure.
GM on the same page about how they're going about business.
Absolutely. But also, I mean, you just have to remember all the little things in between. I think sometimes people just go straight to, like, you're not doing this or this happened. And I'm just like, well, there's so much more to it, of the whys and the timeline and everything else. And so I understand just being in Sacramento alone last night when I was like, yeah, it's about being patient this year. You have another new GM, another new front office, another new head coach. So you got to just let them like tweak out the things this year.
Yeah.
And
Look,
people were like saying, well, I'm going to die before they even win a championship. And I was like, well, we probably are all going to die before they win a championship.
We're getting off on a tangent here, going back to Keon thing that we could talk about later after this whole deadline thing. But my
Did
point,
something happen?
No, I'm just saying in general, because the larger point is what people are saying are being upset the Kings haven't made a deal yet. And I think the one thing we do agree on is like, you just don't have a lot of things that I think other teams want to trade for. I'm
that
sorry.
too.
People aren't lining up for Levine. Sabonis, maybe some minor interest. I don't know. DeRozan, Monk, like those things are being moved. So you're kind of in this limbo period where it's like, all right, here's the good news.
Yeah.
If you want a shred of optimism, if the Kings were healthy to start this year and relatively healthy throughout, they might be like a 22-win team right now.
Sure.
21, 22 wins and not have a chance to be a guaranteed top 5, get a guaranteed top 5 pick in this draft. They could be, it's totally stuck in the middle.
Oh.
So in some regard, the injuries, the inconsistent play, the vets playing too many minutes, it's led to them being 12-40, losers of 10 in a row. And you're going to get hopefully a really good pick in what is supposed to be an iconic draft. Okay. That's a building block. So next year, if we're sitting here on lottery night and it's like, oh my God, the Kings are picking 1, 2, or 3, we're going to be like, holy shit.
Yep.
The Kings got a player that they should be really excited about. If you walk away out of the draft next year,
Oh my God.
and I've even watched everyone, but if you're walking away with AJ, Darren, Cam Boozer,
Wilson.
Caleb Wilson,
Yep.
Kingston Flemings, there's other guys too, you're going to feel pretty good about, okay, look, now we're going into next year with all these expiring contracts. We've got a young talent here, and we keep tinkering. It's going to be a process.
Yeah. No, it's difficult to hear. It's difficult
Yes.
to know. But I mean, that's just sports altogether. Like any sport and how you have to build. If you have to build the right way. And when you are in a small market like Sacramento, you can't build through free agency. No one want to be here. And now,
Until you turn it around.
I was just
but-
about to say, if you do start turning things around, I mean, even think about when they got Malik Monk in free agency and just like how that piece and that connection with De'Aaron led to the playoffs and success. It was great. But you got to start somewhere and you got to start turning things around. And it's only been months. And that's just where I'm at with all of this.
If you let
Yep.
me try that again.
Okay.
It's because I need a sip of coffee.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Give me a hell
We
yeah.
are, wow, 50 minutes away from the deadline. And we are just waiting around. In the last 2 minutes, we see some trades going down. Shams Charania reporting a few of them, including Hunter Tyson, a 2032 second-round pick. Headed to the Nets in exchange for a second-round pick. It gets the Denver Nuggets out of the luxury tax and opens up a roster spot. Meanwhile, the Sixers trading Eric Gordon, a 2032 second-round pick, to the Grizzlies. That's a swap of second-round picks. It allows Dominic Barlow's two-way to be converted to a standard contract. That's a hell of a pickup. That's one, if you want to talk about Dominic Barlow, a guy the Kings should have picked up in the offseason.
Ooh.
They did not. Swing and a miss. The Celtics trading Josh Minot to the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks sending Dalen Terry 2 second-round picks and cash to the Pelicans for Jose Alvarado. Love that pickup for the Knicks. That's going to be a lot of fun. Celtics trading Chris Boucher to the Utah Jazz. Oh, and we're not done. The Bucks holding on to Giannis. They'll address it in the offseason, but they also agreed to trade Cole Anthony, Amir Coffey to the Suns for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes-Davis. Could the Bucks have anything left? Jake Fisher speculating they're still looking to add something next to Giannis. When is he coming back? Could Zach LaVine be a last-second trade to Milwaukee?
They have 49 minutes.
We will find out together live. It's the NBA trade deadline. The Lakers make a trade to Gabe Vincent. Holy shit, we've got a trade, and it's a big one in the National Basketball Association. The Clippers are trading Ivica Zubac to the Pacers.
Whoa.
Ivica Zubac going to the Indiana Pacers, waiting on details to pour in. The Clippers making a big-time move. The Pacers could have a top pick in the draft. Remember, they lost Miles Turner in the offseason. They got Zubats. Holy shit. Waiting on details. This is the NBA trade deadline, and this is why we are live. Zubats traded to the Pacers. Zubats, by the way, 19.5 next year, 20.9 the year after that. Holy crap. We're waiting on the details. Let's see if there's anything else from Shams at this hour. We are monitoring the situation. We have less than 50 minutes to go, but Zubats has been traded by the Clippers. Holy shit.
Very
Ivica
interesting.
Zubats.
Very interesting. Okay.
There had been a lot of speculation about this. Dude, Tyrese is going to have fucking Zubats with him next year. That's a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun. And obviously, after losing someone like Miles Turner at the beginning of the year, you got your big. You got someone that can do so many things for you. I'm so curious for what? For what? Breaking news at this hour.
I'm
we
just
don't
rolling
know.
this. We're just waiting. Yeah, what are the Clippers doing here? The Clippers, of course, made a trade earlier. James Harden. Now they've got Darius Garland going a little bit younger. Do we have the details? 47 minutes to go. We're still waiting on the details. Morgan, if we keep monitoring the chat, let us know if they have anything about the actual particulars in this deal. Zubats under control for 3 more seasons.
People talking about the Clippers. They have no big man besides Old Man Lopez.
Are the Clippers just blowing it up? Will Kawhi Leonard be traded? I don't know. Anything could happen. It's the NBA trade deadline.
What's Kawhi's contract?
Kawhi, would you ask?
I
You know, sometimes you can just laugh at the
did
jokes too.
laugh. I thought
Yeah.
it was so funny.
Kawhi's contract.
Thank you.
Well, is it including all the bonuses? So $50.3 million expiring next year.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do we have any details?
I'm looking.
I feel like, you know, the guy that's been rumored a lot has been them maybe trading Matherin.
Yep, someone was saying that. I imagine it's probably for Matherin. Yeah, anything is possible.
Holy shit. I like this move for Indiana. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that. On paper, I like Zubats going there. I don't know if they
there we
gave
go.
up yet. So we'll find out.
Yeah, for Zubats, that's huge. That is huge for Indiana.
Can I also just say it's annoying that they put this out
Without,
the details? We're just sitting here waiting.
let me see.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so let's say, so let's say, obviously we don't know, but we heard Matherin's name being a possibility. You have Tyrese coming back next year. You have Neesmith. You have Nemhard. Siakam.
Yep. The All-Star Siakam.
The All-Star Pascal Siakam on the worst team in the East and is an All-Star. That would never happen for the Sacramento Kings.
Oh my goodness. Can we get some fucking details? The Clippers, are they just blowing it up now?
No. There's no way.
Dude. Holy shit.
I mean,
Zubats brings that toughness, great screener, the grit. I mean, he's really come on the last couple of years.
put him in the short roll with Tyrese, and he's just nice little push shot.
Tough little trio, huh? Halliburton, Siakam, and Zubats
That's
in the
what I'm
East.
saying. And that's, even mentioning the other guys, like you look at what their roster did
And,
with Turner. What?
dude, they could have a top pick in a draft. What if they get the number 1 pick?
And what if they get the number 1 pick? Holy shit.
A top 3 pick, a top 5 pick.
Yeah, that would be annoying. Where was I looking? I was going to
Dude,
the Clippers.
Come on. Dude, this package is going to be interesting to see what they give up because, that's a big man. And
I know.
Sabonis has been shopped. Zubats has a great contract too. 19.5 next year, 20.9 the year after that. He's 28 years old. This season, 14 points, 11 rebounds a game, 61% shooting. Last year, 17 and 12.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Dude, we really don't have an update on this yet, guys.
Ace is just hearing things. Matherin Walker in first. But
Who's reporting
yeah,
this?
yeah, we need to know who.
Cite your sources, chat. I'm on Twitter right now. I'm not seeing any of that.
Oh my God. I mean, could they just be breaking it all down?
Dude.
Because it's seriously like you find a home.
If you believe Brett Siegel, a young up and coming reporter over at Clutch Points, he is reporting it's 2 first-round picks going to the Clippers. I mean, if you're the Clippers, I think this is the path. I know it's not sexy, but you got younger with Garland.
Yeah.
You haven't had picks, right? You get some picks back. You sell high on Zubats.
And if you do, maybe you do find a new home at some point. Like you think about breaking it all down and you find a new home for Kawhi Leonard. And then you get all that drama, legal drama go away.
It's probably not going away right? They're not, just by trading him.
Oh my God. It's so crazy when we were talking about the Clippers hosting All-Star Weekend. And we were like, okay, well, they're going to have to be good this year because they're hosting All-Star Weekend and they're going to want to keep Kawhi on their roster and have James Harden and sell tickets this year and make everything look good. And you just look at where we're going into All-Star Weekend with this Clippers roster now. It's weird. I mean, it's very weird.
I can't believe Shams doesn't have the details out yet.
I know.
We got to be better than that, guys. I'm just going to say it right now. I miss Woj. We just haven't been able to replace. It's like this is like the post Michael Jordan era, like right when MJ retired the second time with Chicago in '98. Everyone's like, hey, who's kind of the face of the league? The league's like kind of weird, low scoring. People are looking around going, what is this? What is life? That's what it is right now with NBA coverage. You're going, who do I go to?
I mean, look, everything evolves, everything changes, and you have to evolve with it. And if that's where we're at right now, then that's where we're at. Woj was gonna have to leave at some point.
Someone saying 16 DM notifications is wild. Wilsey says that's in a group chat. I don't.
Oh, I have like 20. I don't even check it anymore. It's weird because it makes you put in a pin and everything. When
Yeah,
you go
I'm not.
into-
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm just blue sky, baby.
Appreciate you guys so much for being here. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We are approaching 40 minutes to go in the NBA trade deadline. Anyone else on the move? We're still waiting to see, is John Morant going anywhere in the NBA? Do the Kings have something left in store, or is the Sabonis talk dead? Could they be pulling off a miracle with Zach LaVine? The Bucks, they're holding on to Giannis. Could they be adding to this? Are they going to be a suitor for John Morant? That's been talked about.
It has
Maybe
been.
Zach LaVine. That's been talked about.
You only got
Or
40 minutes.
Are the Kings doing nothing? The Clippers seemingly changing course in a big way. In the last couple of days, they've traded James Harden. They've traded now Ivica Zubats. Who else is on the move? We will find out together.
Did you know John Collins is averaging 25 points a game this year?
No, he's
Yeah, that's what it says. Oh, sorry. Just kidding.
not. What are you saying?
Oh, wait.
What are you
It's
looking
18 points a game. I was looking. Oh, wait. No,
That's
that's
per 36,
oh my
dude.
God.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I keep scrolling.
That's a technical on
That
here for
is.
even
I-
like saying
okay,
that. I was like,
wait,
what are you
wait.
saying? John Collins, by the way,
There we
averaging
go.
13 a
There
game.
we-
He averaged 19 a game last year with Utah.
I saw that and it was like, wait, how did I miss this with John Collins? Yeah, 13, 19 last year a game. I was just looking at the Clippers' depth and their roster and like what they would break down. I mean, I like guys like Derek Jones Jr. and you got Darius Garland with that what?
We got an update. Benedict Mathurin is going
There
to
we
the
go.
Clippers.
Okay, so then you got Mathurin,
Mathurin, I love Mathurin. coming out of the
Garland,
draft.
Collins, Kawhi.
So in the last couple days, and Benedict Mathurin has a contract extension coming up potentially, right? I think he could be a restricted free agent, maybe. Benedict Mathurin, 23 years old. So the Clippers got way younger, waiting on the official word of all the draft compensation.
Way
but
younger.
yes, Ivica Zubats headed to the Pacers. Right now, Benedict Mathurin going back. We'll find out the official word on all of the picks, too, coming up.
Yeah. Think about where the Clippers started at the beginning of the season. Old ass roster.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. And now, like, that quickly getting rid of, obviously, the Chris Paul saga. James Harden. Zubac's 28 years old, but trading him to the Pacers. But you still got old ass Brooke Lopez, Batum. I am so curious. I mean, what if they were looking to trade Kawhi Leonard?
I mean, it would be one of those shocking ones that'd be like, wow, they just pulled this off as a surprise.
Yeah. Or maybe you keep Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I would keep Kawhi Leonard with a young core, especially when healthy, especially with the way that they've been playing.
James in the chat says there's just no way that Zubac's got first, but Sabonis did not. Sabonis also makes $48 million. It's so much more money.
So
and
much
Zubac's makes less than half of that. And he provides size, grit, defense. He's just a different type of big.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. The presence around the rim alone. Like, obviously, Domas uses his strength, but doesn't have the length like Zubac's has.
Okay, we're still waiting on the official award right now. Some stuff being put out there. Shams is saying Isaiah Jackson also in the trade along with Benedict Mathurin. Significant draft compensation to the Clippers. Significant. We'll find out what significant really means. If that's true or if, Shams is trying to boost up this deal for, the team. My goodness. Also, I'm doing a quick refresh right now to see. We've got a ton of people hanging out, watching us live in the final stretch of the trade deadline. We only have 224 thumbs up, aka likes. That needs to be a 500 plus right now. Just do it. All it does is help our channel grow. So Basketball Sickos around the world see what we do. Do this right now. Also subscribe. It just helps us grow. This is we saw the Zubats stuff for a while, and I was like, I don't think it's going to happen. The Pacers come through. Also, we do have an update. This is from Anthony Slater. Draymond Green is going to remain with the Warriors through the trade deadline. Not exactly a surprise. I don't think people were lining up for Draymond Green. It seemed like he was going to be involved in a deal that would have gotten them Giannis if that had come to fruition.
Yep, that's exactly it. And that's all it was. So good for the Warriors. They still get to have Draymond Green.
Okay, here's the official layout from Shams Charania on the deal between the Clippers and the Pacers. It's Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks. We don't know where those picks lie or the protections. 1 second-round pick to the Clippers for Zubats and Kobe Brown. Uh-oh, I'm seeing the chat react to things. I don't know what's happening. Did I miss anything?
Tomatoes. Clown. Oh, I think they're talking about Draymond there.
Okay.
I think they're reacting to Draymond Green.
Well, I love this move for Indiana on the surface at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's huge for what they needed to see with that center spot. They've obviously have had more opportunities for guys like Jay Huff. Is he in the dunk contest?
I think he was pushing to be in the dunk
he
contest.
was pushing.
I just saw, too, we're getting word on the compensation package. Sorry to cut you off. The Clippers are receiving a 2026 first-round pick, protected 1 through 4. Wow.
Whoa.
I mean, and the Pacers are, if they finish with the worst record in the league, worst case, they fall to 5. They would lose the pick.
Yes, they would.
Wow. They're punting in this draft potentially.
But I think this is again, you saw how dominant their team could be with an effective big, like a modern day big, a big in Turner that could stretch the floor and do so many things out there.
So the Clippers are receiving 2026 first round pick from the Pacers, protected 1 through 4. Oh, and 10 through 30. That's so interesting. So if it falls between 5 and 9, it goes to the Clippers, plus a 2029 Pacers unprotected first round.
So specific. So specific.
Okay, the protections are crazy. If I'm in the league, I'm going, hey, stop it. 1 through 4 and 10 through 30.
Do you have to write up a DocuSign thing really quick and send that over and be like, these are
so
crazy.
Okay. Indiana, of course, you know what they're going to do down the stretch. They've been doing full on tank mode here, like sitting guys left and right. They're trying to position themselves to stay in that top of the lottery, but it is the lottery at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you fall to the 5 spot, maybe they're just going, hey, if it's outside the top 4, it's okay. We like the top 4 a lot. After that, we're kind of mixed on it.
They have toughness. They have guards. They have guys that can provide. Obviously, with someone like Benedict Mathurin can still provide, but they needed a big like this. And to get on Zubac's contract, he's 28 years old in his prime era of things, and put him next to Tyrese Halliburton going into next year. It's smart.
So, all right, the Pacers sent Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, those 2 first, 1 second to the Clippers for Zubac and Kobe Brown. Now, if the Pacers stay in the top 4, let's say they pick 3rd.
Okay.
What is then does it get converted to something else in the future? That's what I'm curious about, because if the pick does not get conveyed, then what does it mean? If you're the Pacers, there's some level of protection here. Obviously, if it's 5 through 9, it goes to the Clippers. I get why the Clippers do this. It's like, dude, if we get in a position where we move off Zubac, we get younger, we add Mathurin, we've got Darius Garland. Sorry, my phone was going off, just making sure nothing happened. And we have the potential to get a lottery pick 5 through 9. Like that's really a no-brainer for where they are at. Like they tried this whole thing with Paul George and Kawhi, and eventually Kawhi and Harden. They brought in Beal this year. This was time for them to pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the James Harden situation kind of started everything, right? And just realizing like, okay, even when we're playing our best basketball with James Harden, he doesn't even believe in what we could do in the West. And it makes sense. I mean, it absolutely makes sense. We saw them in the preseason. We're like, God, this team is going to be a team in the Western Conference. And then they started playing like shit, couldn't figure things out. And then Chris Paul was traded. I'm not acting like he was totally the problem, but obviously there were problems there. And then they started playing better basketball.
By the way, Benedict Mathurin is on an expiring contract, $9.2 million. He's a restricted free agent in July, so the Clippers could match Isaiah Jackson under contract for 3 seasons at 7, 7, and 6.4 on those deals. But yeah, I mean, I think giving up a 2026 pick is tough for Indiana, but the protections on it, they should be okay. And I mean, a lot of it's just hoping you get lucky in the lottery and stay in the top 4.
Absolutely.
Some of the chat saying, well, it doesn't matter. The league has actually already rigged it, and the Indiana Pacers will have a number 1
Great
pick.
point. Nope, that's absolutely true. And somehow the Kings will have the worst record in the league and still somehow get the 10th pick in the draft, even though there's no possible way.
Oh, by the way, we are 30 minutes away from the end of the trade deadline. Is there anything left? 30 minutes to go. Does Miami do anything? Remember, that was a team that was tied to Giannis at one point. Giannis is not getting moved today, according to reports. Does Milwaukee do anything? We've already seen Minnesota do something. Is Houston staying pat? Are they cool with what they have? Any other teams around the league have a move? What about Sacramento? All eyes on the capital city. They've been wanting to move off a lot of their guys, but does anybody want what they have? It doesn't seem like it at this point. Could there be a last crazy-ass trade that sends Sabonis somewhere? What about Zach LaVine, Malik Monk? We will be here reacting to it all. Could we get a surprise of all surprise? What about Kawhi Leonard? What does this mean for his future? Are they just going to ride it out with Kawhi Leonard? They just made a couple of big trades today, adding Darius Garland, and now making a trade, sending Zubac to the Pacers. Couple of firsts coming back to the Clippers, including a 2026 protected 1 through 4, 10 through 30, and a 2029 unprotected pick. They add Benedict Mathurin and Isaiah Jackson to the fold. What else is transpiring today? Bring us some good shit, basketball gods. This is the NBA's trade deadline.
So now, when you talk about some of the teams that haven't been doing shit, like the Houston Rockets, very, very interesting to not be trying to capitalize around Kevin Durant.
I think it's hard to maneuver, right?
It absolutely is. But if I'm a Rockets fan, I'm going, this is bullshit. Like, we got to make something happen. I know you're reading.
I'm just making sure.
No, okay.
I'm just making sure I'm set up here because we're in crunch time.
Oh, I apologize.
No, I'm listening to you. You know how these go. I do a lot of things.
You know how these go.
We do have an update too on the 2026 Pacers first rounder protected 1 through 4 and 10 through 30. If it doesn't convey, meaning it falls between, like, let's just say it's a top 4 pick, it's going to stay with Indiana. That first rounder then converts to a 2031 unprotected first. So, I mean, for the Clippers, this is good shit, I think. You get a couple of later first round picks in 29 and 2031. Who knows what that looks like down the road? That's a long time from now.
I think this is great for both teams as of right now. Like, and you don't get
I
to
do
say
too.
that a lot. Like, usually there's always has to be a winner or whatever. And this one right now, looking good for both Pacers and the Clippers.
Do you think I have time to pee?
Yes.
Just right here?
Gross.
What would you do if I did? I was like, Morgan, I can't leave. And I just like went.
I would leave. I would leave this stream. I would leave this room and I would never come back.
I wouldn't leave my stream. You know what I mean?
I know, because you'd be peeing on the floor on the live stream. Get a diaper, kid. Let's see. Doesn't Houston need a point guard? Yeah, and that is exactly something like, would they be, or want to be in the mix for someone like John Moran? I just don't think it makes sense with contracts and everything else. Something I'm very horrible with. I'm always like, yeah, can't you just put this guy here? And then Deuce like has to shit on me for my numbers. Math, not my forte. But they absolutely need a point guard. I thought maybe they were going to be interested in someone like Dennis Schroeder. I thought a lot more teams were going to be interested in the Kings assets with some of the guards because they have 725 of them. But at the same time, it's something that we said at the beginning of this stream and throughout these weeks is the Sacramento Kings actually doesn't. That was so gross. Don't have the attractive assets that other teams want to make the next step. And that's, and on top of not having those assets, not having the contracts. I mean, just compare the two contracts that we were talking about with Domas Sabonis and Zubats. Like what those two can do on the floor is so different. Plus the contracts are very different where Zubats contract is like a hell yeah, no brainer.
Isaiah in the chat says Deuce may have late stage kidney failure.
I know.
Okay, no. Just so you know my setup, because you can't see this on camera. Okay, I've had coffee, sparkling water, Kirkland's finest. Like, come on, dude. I'm staying hydrated. You pee. You know what happens when you drink liquids? You pee.
Deuce pees quick as hell, not to be weird. That's not weird. And I mean, just
you guys are being weird. And I did wash my hands, but do I need to wash for 45 seconds after I pee? What do you think I'm What do you think I'm doing down there?
I don't want to.
Sometimes I go
that.
no hands.
Okay.
You guys don't get it.
Now
dude.
it's
you guys
getting
don't
weird.
Get it.
No, we don't. I'm a woman. I do not get it.
I didn't mean to hit that. If you have not done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We are 25 minutes away from the trade deadline. If you want to flash back to last year, Morgan, I think it was at the buzzer. The Kings got Jake LaRavia.
Was that what that was? That was last year. That felt like 5 years ago.
Oh man, no, it was last year. Okay, Ryan, you're not allowed to put those type of things in the chat. You're trying to troll here.
Yeah, no trolling. Oh, wow.
No. Okay. You know, this could be the calm before the storm. Someone's saying Chris Haynes tweet. Okay, let me go to Chris Haynes. Chris Haynes. What's Chris saying? Okay. Let's see here. Just an update. The Pacers did make a run at Utah Jazz center Walker Kessler and offered a package highlighted by 2 unprotected first-round picks. It was declined, and the Pacers pivoted to Zubats. Kessler will be in demand as a restricted free agent this summer. But the Jazz can match. Look, and I think what you're seeing here today is teams do value big guys. Like, no shit.
Yeah.
They want, but they need things from big guys that Sabonis doesn't provide as a big. And when you look at the cost, right? Walker Kessler is a young big. He's going to be due, a new contract here.
Yep.
But it's not going to be $48 million a year.
And
Zubats is under contract for a few more years at like 19, 20 million. When you talk about Sabonis at 46, 48 million for a couple more years, it's just tough for teams to take on when it takes, like you mentioned, a specific type of team
Yeah, and
to
for
fit
that
him
price.
in.
And again, this front office, Scott Perry and his team did not make that contract for Domas Sabonis. So now trying to deal with it. And by the way, I think whenever Domas gets talked about like that, like we could provide all the things that he does
Sure.
do and how he's been a dominant rebounder and the top rebounder in this league over the years. And obviously that is so needed. Yes, all the wonderful things about him. But when you talk about the price for it and where the Kings have been at with Sabonis, it's not his fault. Just saying why it's not attractive to other teams and why you might have to threaten other GMs to actually make something else happen at the deadline, which is in 23 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Take a deep breath.
It would
Here
be
we go.
what would be how crazy would it be if Ja did not get moved today?
After everything that went down,
We have a trade. Don't look at the bottom thing because that was wrong. I know
Okay.
I got excited.
Whoa.
No. It was someone responding to Shams.
got it.
This is a minor one. Tyus Jones was traded yesterday to Charlotte. He's now being traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Malachi Branham. Mavericks had interest in Jones this season, and they get him today. The Hornets open up $7 million trade exemption. Where were you when you found out Tyus Jones got traded for Malachi Branham? You will not forget this moment.
No, ever. What a beautiful moment in the NBA.
Sorry, go back to your point. Do you remember what you were saying?
You asked me a question. Oh, about John Morant. Not if he was not traded. I mean, it's the same thing with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I thought like the verbiage of him saying he was ready for a new home, not demanding a trade, but saying he was ready for a new home. I thought even that we were going to see the shift at this trade deadline. And I think if they could have gotten the right thing, if the Bucks felt like they could have gotten the right thing from the Warriors or whoever else that they're still talking to, maybe, then they would go in that direction. But I think now they've already have gone back to what they really wanted to do. And that was save face. That was try to make sure that Giannis would want to stay here. I think even if they got something else done at this trade deadline, even if it was the Zach LaVine thing to pair up next to him or whatever else, Giannis is still going to be asking for a trade in the offseason.
I'm with you on that. I completely agree.
And that's why, I think in some ways you should get it done before you get desperate. But now you're just at a point where it's kind of getting too late. So I guess going back to the John Morant thing too, I don't understand how they're going to try and add to his value in this short amount of time and maybe make him more attractive to teams going into the offseason. Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, again, there is now 20 minutes left until the deadline. Does Miami do something?
Yeah.
Miami's been linked to Morant in the past. Sacramento has been linked. Milwaukee. So who knows what happens there? I'm seeing some Kings fans already kind of preemptively getting upset that the team hasn't made a trade yet. And I know we're going to spend time after doing a podcast talking about what transpires or does not transpire. But dude, this is the reality. I know we got some new people checking in at this point. We've been on for a while now.
What's up, party
Appreciate you
people?
sickos.
Hell yeah.
Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. It helps us grow. But this is what we tried to warn you about. And, in all fairness, it's not like you have to be locked into every one of our podcasts after a Kings game where the Kings lose, again and again. But one of the things we've been talking about is you can want to move all these guys.
Yeah.
But teams are going to have to want your guys. And Sacramento does not have appealing contracts. The goal was to maximize these to make them more interesting around the league. But DeRozan's cap hit of 25 may be too rich for contending teams to add. Zach LaVine, it would take a desperate team.
Dude.
If Memphis somehow are we'll take him if you take Morant, or Milwaukee, hey, we need someone to go with Giannis when he comes back just to try it. Sabonis, we know the limitation we talked about. You're kind of stuck, and I don't think anyone wants Monk either.
And I've heard the desperate, irrational conversations even from Sacramento Kings media members, right?
Just
And
get something done.
yeah,
It's
and it's just
I guess how
we're all in this together. Would love
we're all
in this together.
Never seen it, but I just know it from you singing it.
Thank
What's
you.
it called? Middle school celebration?
Yep.
What's it?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay, cool.
Middle school celebration time. We play basketball and have a good time. That's what they sing.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, it's a really good song.
That's awesome.
Really good. High School Musical.
Never seen it.
But even when that happens and like, oh, we're all in this together and we all would love to see another tweak, another move, whatever it is. Absolutely. I am still so happy that we saw a move for a piece that I know I've been bitching about over the last couple of years of we need wing depth. We need wing depth. We need wing depth. You finally got your wing depth. You got it with the new front office. Yay. Okay. Would love to see something else. If something else doesn't happen, you just have to stay. You don't have to. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm going to stay rational with my thinking and where this team plans on going and how they continue to plan to make tweaks, and especially if it comes in the draft this year.
Ty knows the truth. Says trading Deuce for Mo. Can you guys at least switch seats?
Sure.
I can't. Sorry.
Really?
No deal.
What if it makes like the universe something good happen in the trade? Just switch for 1 minute.
I will say this.
Yeah.
If there is a Kings trade, we will switch and we won't ever say anything about it.
Really?
Let me just see what it looks like over
Okay.
here. This is weird. Oh my God. What?
Oh, this is my good side.
Dude, I don't like this.
Hi.
What do I even do?
Oh, hey, I'm Deuce. I'm doing everything over here. What? Drinking all my water. Yeah. This is so.
Some people have said for a long time we should switch it because a lot of times it says Deuce and Mo on like the lower third.
Yeah.
But you're under the Deuce name and I'm under the Mo.
And that's technically the hosting chair in a lot of different.
Relax. There's no hosting chairs. We're just talking.
Just okay. I mean, you definitely are hosting.
In the chat, this feels wrong. Switch back. Yeah, dude. It feels weird, man.
Oh my God, the Kings made a trade. Kidding. What?
That's how I am right now.
Oh, come
Okay,
on.
let's switch back
Okay.
and do this.
Switch back?
Oh! Okay. But the trade did happen when we did that,
See?
dude.
I told you.
Holy smoke.
What happened?
Okay, we just have a trade update, it looks like, from Shams Charania. The Bucks and Suns have expanded their deal that they made earlier. It's going to include the Bulls.
Oh.
Ousmane Dieng is going to Milwaukee. Nick Richards being rerouted to Chicago. So Chicago gets a center because they needed some depth.
Yep.
We'd speculate like, oh, could maybe be a sneaky Sabonis team? Like that seemed irrational, but no. That is not happening at this point. So just for clarity, the Bucks made a trade earlier today, sending Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey to the Suns for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes-Davis. It's now a 3-team deal to include Ousmane Dieng going to the Bucks and Nick Richards to the Bulls. We are 15 minutes away. We are 15 minutes away from the NBA trade deadline. Is anything going to happen involving the Sacramento Kings? Last year, we had this same conversation, and you know what went down?
What?
Jake LaRavia got traded here. Who could ever forget the LaRavia era in Sacramento? What a good couple of months that was. Could something go down at the buzzer today involving the Sacramento Kings? We still don't know about John Morant. We don't know what Miami's doing. What about Houston?
Yeah, what the hell?
Are they doing anything? We sit here patiently and wait. The Raptors have been a team that's been eyeing something. They feel like they've got a shot to do something. Do they pull off the Sabonis deal, or are they cool with Trace Jackson Davis, who they acquired last night? We are live with 14 minutes to go. This is the deadline.
I got an update from Adam Wojnarowski's wife.
Yeah?
He's been napping, and she said he would kill me if I woke him up. Didn't know he was so aggressive.
This is what. So he just retired like his brother.
Yeah, he's in Antarctica taking a nap. Who would have thought?
Thanks for that update.
Yeah, there's your breaking news.
In the chat, the Kings are going to airball the trade deadline like always.
Wait, I'm so confused. They made a trade.
Yeah, but again, you keep saying that people don't love the trade, so that's just what it is.
Here's my question. Why don't you love the trade?
Because we have to go over. We've done so much Keon Ellis content. Why Do you want me to tell you why? I feel like we're gonna get a fight about this.
Let's not then, because it's honestly, it's baffling to me.
No,
Like,
it's not.
Okay.
Keon Ellis, you did not maximize his value. You gave up a second-round pick in a deal for getting off Dennis Schroeder's deal and trading Keon Ellis. That's not great in terms of maximizing your assets.
And what'd you get back?
DeAndre Hunter's expiring contract, who's 28 years old. I like him.
Don't act like that. Don't act like that. I mean, like, that's literally the thing that we've been bitching about for years.
Yeah, for years when this team was trying to win. Now this team is going in a different direction of rebuilding.
Yeah, correct. And we say rebuilding, even though they have like nothing to rebuild on. So they're starting from the beginning. But you got to start somewhere with the modern day NBA with length, athleticism, youth, prime years, whatever you want to call it.
Just waiting.
Okay.
There's an alert from Shams, but it's just promoting ESPN.
Okay. At 11:50, we're switching seats one more time for 1 minute just to see if we can make one more thing happen.
It's not going to change anything.
It did. It did. This is the thing I used to do when I watched Kings games when I was like,
Just so you know, when
in the
we
fifth
switched
grade.
change, we got a trade about Usman Jane.
So what? You got something. Don't care.
Let's go to the poll question that I put up earlier. Oh, we don't even have a poll question. Actually, I'm going to put one up now. Will the Kings make a trade? This is what 10 minutes ago. Will the Kings make a trade? Yes. No, it's over.
Oh my God.
Let's see what the people vote. What's the gut feeling? What's the gut feeling?
Everyone's so weird about old, like 28 years old. I love that we are like giving the Pacers so much love for Zubats being 28 years old and all the different things. But as soon as we talk about DeAndre Hunter being 28 years old, which in anyone from 25 to 30, I'm good.
And the Pacers were in the NBA Finals last year. The Kings are going through a
Kings are going to be shitty for like 7 more years. Like, what are we even saying?
All I'm saying is I understand it's a $25 million expiring. I'm not freaking out about it, but to act like Kings fans should be thrilled or excited about DeAndre Hunter
I'm
trade.
not saying thrilled or excited,
Well,
but
that's
when
where
I
I
see,
think-
no, I never said thrilled or excited, but whenever I see everyone being like, oh my God, I'm so sad, I'm like, bro, I'm just glad something happened. One, that's where I'm at with Scott Perry in his first couple of months of this shithole. And then on top of all that, Deuce, I go, you look at the draft coming up, let's say the Kings still suck and get a good pick. Even next year, breaking news, they're not going to be good.
Okay, but again, this all goes back to the larger issue of, you could have maximized Keon's value better and gotten more out of him had you
I'm
done
not
that.
denying that.
Okay.
But that's why whenever I say my point, you don't have to come back with that point. Everyone, all of you people, love ya, but you don't have to come back with that point because like we get it. It's not about agreeing to disagree or being on the same page, but I think there can be a conversation there of like why I can be okay, why you don't have to be okay, why you can be
And I think
in the middle.
And the bigger thing with DeAndre is now that you have him, you hope that his value, teams were interested in him too. His value, either he's here and you extend him to a solid deal while you're kind of retooling, rebuilding things, or you move him next year at the
Yes.
trade deadline.
Someone asked me a very random question. Mo, do you get happy when you order waffles and get pancakes? Honestly, yeah, I love sweet shit. Give me anything that's sweet and fattening. I am still very happy. Pancakes and waffles, both very delicious.
Coping over the Kings, LOL. No, we're on a live stream, Lone Wolf. Lock in, dude. You are not trying to. We have 10 minutes to go. Do me a favor.
9.
Keep it down. All right, you want to switch to stupid seats?
Look, he
For
wants.
1 minute. 1 minute. I don't
minute.
give a shit about any of this.
Okay, and then we have to say the secret chant.
We are 9 minutes away from the NBA's trade deadline. This is the home stretch. We are switching seats in desperation, hoping
Yeah.
that the Kings do something or any big trades happen. What will go down today?
Oh, Mo, give us We Are Live. Ready? We are live!
That's not how you do it.
We are live!
Here we go.
Here we go.
If you have not done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I'm looking at the poll question right now. Will the Kings make a trade? 86% of people say no.
Jesus. It is all over.
Man. Yeah.
Some people.
Let's switch back.
Okay. Switch back. Wow. They said, Deuce, you sound so much smoother using my mic. I know, because
I'm sure.
mine's a little better. Oh my God. Yeah. Nothing's going to happen probably anywhere as we have 8 minutes left of this NBA trade deadline.
Plus, Ultra Style 64 says we are so cooked. Okay, honest. If they don't make a deal, how are they cooked?
They're already the worst team in the
Yeah,
NBA.
they're bad, and now they've got all these expirings.
They're already
I don't know
burnt.
what to tell you. Sim donated like $80 Australian, I
Thank
think, or it's
you.
from Antarctica, saying, "Please, Kings, do something." Appreciate the super chat.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Man.
Now it seems like there are some debates about fluffy pancakes and waffles, which completely understand. Both delicious.
Do you think we get anything in the NBA in the next 7 minutes?
No.
Do we have any buzzer-beating deals at the deadline with all these teams?
Nope, I do not think so. I think we are where we're at with the NBA trade deadline. And honestly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the week of NBA trade deadline. Today, not too bad either. You saw Jose Alvarado go to the Knicks. You saw Zubats go to the Pacers.
Do we need some intense music down the stretch?
Maybe for the last 5 minutes.
Like, does this do
Oh.
anything?
It's pretty intense.
Too intense?
No, it reminds me of what's that? What was that show when
Mission Impossible.
No.
The Kings make a deal.
No, Amazing Race or whatever.
Okay.
When people were like, I kind of like it. I mean, I didn't watch that show, but
It makes me a little anxious, though, huh?
is your heart beating?
6 minutes to go. Will the Sacramento Kings pull off anything? Any trades around the league? Zubats was moved. He's going to the Pacers.
Logan Ivy in the chat saying, what about Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis straight up?
That's not funny. We don't mention that here.
You're funny.
I feel like last year we did like an orchestrator music, huh? Orchestrator? Orchestra. What?
Okay.
An orchestra. Didn't we like a epic orchestra?
I'm down for an orchestra. Let's see. You guys are so funny. Someone saying Amazing Race is fantastic. Didn't know if it was even still on.
Dude, this is kind of intense. Dum, 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 dum.
The Sacramento Kings will not be releasing hostages, someone says. I love the deep cuts. I appreciate you
funny.
guys so much. Will the Clippers keep selling? I don't know. I mean, they're looking interesting right now. I think the only position for them really is like having a big that can stay out there. You have Brooke Lopez, who's just aging.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 minutes to go. Will we see another trade in the NBA?
Will the basketball gods allow anything to happen in Sacramento?
This is the final 4 minutes of the NBA trade deadline. Are the phones ringing? Are they being used? Are deals being closed? Could the Miami Heat have anything left? Could the Grizzlies be moving John Morant? Could the Kings be moving off anybody? We are here to find out. Are you ready? Does this do it for you?
The music?
Yes.
Kinda. It's intense. It's very much like a movie. It's so weird when we get to this time with only a couple minutes left because it's just like Anything could happen.
Chris
Anything
Haynes
possible.
is reporting that the Clippers aren't moving Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, for those wondering. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Oh my goodness. 3 minutes to go.
Someone says it's been a downhill since Royale was kicked out of Sacramento, to be honest.
Dude, I was a big Royale guy.
I still like Royale. He's alive somewhere.
3 minutes to go. The countdown is on. Just waiting for any alert to come through.
What if an alert doesn't come through with 2.5 minutes left? What's going to be, how are you going to feel at noon?
I don't know. I can't predict the future.
I mean, it's in 2 minutes.
I'm going to react when I react with 2 minutes to go. How am I going to feel if nothing happens? I'm going to wait for nothing to happen and let you know.
You already sound pissed. Oh, fuck.
For all the sickos who are here on this journey, close to 2 hours together, and really the months and months of talking about trade rumors, we appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Oh. We do have something. Adam Woj
Yeah.
did text us saying hearing Giannis for Devin Carter is in play with 130 seconds remaining.
Okay.
Oh, you don't think that's true? It's Adam Wojnarowski.
I think that might be a little off.
Well, we'll see if it happens. 1 minute to go.
1 minute.
1 F.
And sometimes it's a couple minutes after when something comes out. We have to wait for the official, it is done, nothing else is happening around the league.
As we scroll and scroll and scroll. And refresh.
Nothing from Shams. Let's see if Jake Fisher has anything up his sleeve. Nothing from Fisher in 30 minutes. Go back to Shams. We are in the final minutes.
Seconds.
11:59 a.m. Pacific time. It is now noon. And it's quiet. We wait. The buzzer's gone off. Has the dust settled? We look around to see if anything is coming our way. And we wait. Thank you for the super chat, $5. Al. We're still here. Everyone's still with us and alive. Is there any other deals coming?
Are you okay? What's happened?
We have officially reached the end of the trade deadline, and the updates from Jake Fisher. There will be no Domantas Sabonis trade. He's sticking in Sacramento. Is there anything else percolating at this hour? We know that Domantas Sabonis is sticking with the Sacramento Kings. He has not been traded after some interest. Is there anything else with other teams? We are waiting to see the final word at this hour. The deadline is officially over. At the moment, no moves from anyone else. The last move we had was Tyus Jones, I think, being rerouted. The silence is deafening. Nothing else from Shams at this hour. We are saying it now. It is over. There are no more trades. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 NBA trade deadline is over.
It was a fun week.
Whew. Okay. So this is it. The Sacramento Kings do not make a move. Another move. They make the
Another.
one move at the deadline, but Sabonis does not get moved. I'm still looking at social media just to in case
Just
there's
in
anything
case.
like last second. John Morant does not get moved.
No.
Giannis does not get moved. Some of the teams you thought maybe would make moves did not make moves. The Kings did not get anything done. Wow. All right, should we do a podcast for this and talk about it? Oh, I did not mean to turn
After you
off that
turn
music.
off the music.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's time.
And then we'll clip it and put it as another thing? Or what?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Deuce Mo, we're coming down in 3, 2, 1. Hit my music. Actually, first, I just want to thank all you guys for being here with us today. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It means the world that you guys stuck with us and hung out. We love this
Amazing.
time, even if it doesn't go the way we all wanted it.
Thanks. This is one of our favorite days, so thanks for making it special. Let's wrap everything up in this pod.
Deuce Mo, coming down 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
The NBA trade deadline is officially over, and the Sacramento Kings do not make another trade. This is the Deuce and Mo podcast. The trade deadline literally just wrapped up as we record this, and the podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. We've been sitting here, and there's so many rumors involving the Sacramento Kings for months, really.
Months.
Because Scott Perry comes in and he looks at the situation in Sacramento, and a lot of the talk was he's going to evaluate things, in the season has gone awful for Sacramento. The worst record in the NBA.
The worst.
They end up making one trade this week. They send Keon Ellis, Schroeder to the Cavs, Saric to the Bulls, and second round picks go to the Bulls too, and they get DeAndre Hunter. And that's it. We had so many rumors over the months about Malik, about Domantas Sabonis, especially this week, about DeMar DeRozan, about Zach LaVine, and all of those guys are still with the Sacramento Kings.
Yep, they absolutely are. And, the Kings are also on a 10-game losing skid. It's the worst of the worst. And, I guess the toughest part about all of this is seeing so many veterans on this team, and what does that mean for the opportunities for some of these young guys? Well, we saw it last night against the Memphis Grizzlies, and maybe we're even starting to see this shift where minute distribution is going to be a little bit different. So if you have to look for one of the positives out of all of this, it would be, okay, maybe there's an actual shift when it comes to rotations and minutes. But I think overall, what you see that Scott Perry did this week, there's so many different Kings fans and media that are conflicted about all this because of the love for Keon Ellis, because Dennis Schroeder was signed in the first place, but also being excited about having a 6'8" wing guy in DeAndre Hunter.
We'll talk a little bit more about that portion of the deadline and the one move that the Kings did make. But I think in recent days, there's been so much Sabonis talk.
Yeah.
Sabonis. Even the Kings tied to John Morant, and ultimately nothing gets done. And this is a tough spot to be in. And I think when you take a step back and look at the last 6 months or so, I think the goal for Sacramento was to, hey, we need to maximize the vets we have, see what we have, and then make determinations based on that. And if we can maximize the veterans we do have and their contracts, we can move off of these. None of that worked.
No.
Sabonis got hurt early, and even when he did play, it didn't look good together with that group. And I think it could have looked better had they approached it a different way. And I think that's kind of my big takeaway from this deadline with Sacramento is maximizing the talent is sometimes putting veteran players in spots that they're not used to.
Yeah.
Meaning, start Sabonis with other guys. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be starting all these vets with Russ and Levine and DeMar and at one point Keegan and
No,
Sabonis,
no,
where
no.
it doesn't work and no one is thriving.
No.
And that's the thing. No one thrived. And so you're left here going, yeah, we started these guys to give them opportunity to thrive, and they did not thrive. What if you had changed something to make it look different and allow those guys to thrive in different roles? Would they be more attractive to other teams? The reality is they tried to move Monk for months.
Yep.
No one wanted him. Why didn't anyone want Malik Monk in your mind? I know I'm going all over the place,
No,
but
no, no.
we're processing this right now.
I think when it comes to Malik Monk, there's a few layers to it. When you look at his contract, it's not very attractive for a guard that can only do so much on the defensive end, but has been able to show that he can handle the basketball while being a playmaker, and his three-point shooting has also gone down. So it's like, what is he for that price? You know, when teams are looking for this guy, and there's so many teams out there that are looking for that true point guard, and he's not necessarily that. I think there's so many times here in Sacramento that we would evaluate him as that, because we saw last year at the end of the year, especially when De'Aaron Fox was traded away, that was the role that he had to take on. And great job by Malik Monk trying to take on a role that he isn't supposed to be in. I think it's made him a better player in some ways, and it's also has helped him show what he can do for other teams. But at the same time, that wasn't attractive enough, especially with his contract.
The contract, not known for being a defensive player, in these, what we've seen is these score first guys just don't have the value, especially when that's that type of deal attached.
Yep.
By the way, we just got news while we're recording this. Cam Thomas waived by the Brooklyn Nets. I imagine he's going to be a hot ass prospect.
Oh yeah.
On the free agent market. I don't know. Is that a guy that goes to Denver? Who knows? I don't know. We'll talk more about that in the coming days. But yeah, the value just obviously not there with someone like Malik Monk. And then I look at DeMar DeRozan. My head was like, dude, watching DeMar this year, he's played some good basketball. There's got to be some contending team that would like to bring him in the fold because of his ability to draw double teams, score the basketball at such a high rate. He's been really efficient this year, and I think he's just been professional in his approach to the game in a really shitty situation. And I think it's the same thing with Monk. Like we're going down this roster right now, and it's the cost.
Yep.
His cap hit was $25 million, and it's a partial guarantee next year for 10, but you have to account for that $25 million this year. And I think it's hard for a contending team to go, let's construct a trade with that and add that now. That's why he's still here.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And the good news about when you look at some of these contracts is Scott Perry and his team, they weren't the ones to sign these guys, to re-sign these guys, to extend these guys in these contracts. And so when I see that with Malik Monk, with DeMar DeRozan, I am at least not shifting the blame there. I'm more just shifting the blame to, holy shit, their contract not being attractive to so many teams around the league, especially with all the second apron rules and everything else that we've seen with the new CBA.
So he stays in Sacramento. Levine was the one that I thought there was no chance in hell they're going to be able to move. You know, he's got the player option. He's going to pick up next year for $48 million, the final year of that deal. There was that outside chance, okay, maybe like Levine to Milwaukee if they wanted to help out Giannis, but
like,
what did that really do for them? And then the other one was, okay, what about Memphis for like Ja Morant? You could just do that one. I don't know how eager, Memphis was to do something like that. Maybe they were more interested in Sacramento. Was like, we really don't want to add Ja unless you attach a pick to it.
Yeah. It was about buying low on Ja Morant. I mean, from everything that we've heard with rumors and everything. And so the fact that couldn't get done either, it just shows where Ja Morant's value is around the league as well. But going back to what you're saying, even about Zach LaVine, that one was an obvious one. As soon as the Kings made the trade for him last year and I saw his contract, I'm like, oh, he's picking up that option. Like Kings are going to be stuck with him. So hopefully he provides a lot, and he hasn't been able to provide a lot. It's been so up and down. It's been weird. It doesn't connect. It doesn't feel like it's the future. So yeah, again, another tough contract that at least Scott Perry and his team didn't have anything to do with.
And then you look at that. We talk about the Kings unable to move some of these contracts unless someone takes a bite at it. And more times than not, teams aren't going to do that. The team that did that last year, the Sacramento Kings.
Yep.
The Bulls have been trying to trade Levine forever. And it was like, no one's going to trade for. No one wants that. No one's doing it. And sure enough, it was the Kings who bid at it. And now this is what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
The next guy that was involved in so many rumors was Domantas Sabonis. It seemed like he was like the most likely guy. in terms of the rumor mill.
Yeah.
That could be moved with Toronto showing interest at one time, the Hornets. Early on we heard like, oh, the Bulls or the Suns, but it seemed like the most serious was with Toronto.
Yeah.
It did not get done. It seemed like the Kings wanted RJ Barrett. And I don't know, we have to wait for more reporting on this, but it's a shame that deal couldn't get done because I felt like from Sacramento's standpoint, it made sense. Like you take on RJ and whatever filler, you get off Sabonis's deal a year early. I think the tough part with Sabonis is I don't think his value is going to go. I think his value is what it is around the
agree.
league, and it's not going to change, meaning you've got 2 more years left on that
A
contract.
lot of money.
Luckily, he's a good guy, and he plays the right way.
Yes.
But it feels like a contract that you just may be stuck with as you go through this process of resetting everything and rebuilding.
And as we hear more reporting on what didn't happen with that deal, and let's just say that Pirtle was like the Raptors were really trying to get off Pirtle's deal and trying to make him part of the deal. I'm really glad that the Kings didn't budge for that. Really glad.
Well, it just doesn't seem like the Raptors wanted to really attach those picks to get it done.
I know.
And
Well,
if you don't
that
want to
too.
do that, to me, that's going to stop it. And, even if it wasn't Sacramento taking on Pirtle and picks, it seemed like maybe Memphis had interest based on reporting
Yep.
on taking on Pirtle's deal and those picks. But the Raptors were reluctant to give up those picks.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the final offer is. And that's what's going to be fascinating is like the games that come out after the deadline when reports come out like, hey, this team turned down this. This was actually on the table. Some of it could be true. Some of it's not true. We don't really know, but we sit here and lap it up like it's fact.
Yeah.
We don't know. Now, we do know the Wizards, according to Mark Spears, did offer or at least talk to the Kings about a deal before the Anthony Davis trade that they made that would have sent Chris Middleton's expiring in a pick for Sabonis.
Yes.
And you look at that one.
That one is intriguing to me.
It's not sexy.
No, but it's about getting off of Sabonis's contract for that one.
Yeah, you get Middleton's expiring
And
and
picks.
then a pick.
Oh, a pick.
It was a pick, but it could have been like a late first, but it's still a first. And maybe it was a misstep by Perry in that situation. If he was like, hey, I think we can get it done elsewhere. And I guess we'll see what happens with the Sabonis thing to really judge it. But on the surface right now, you're like, dude, that's going to be a tough contract to move. You may have had an opening to do it. You didn't do it.
And something else that could have happened with that could have been Washington's plan B, because plan A could have
Yeah,
been to
no.
get Anthony Davis. I mean,
That's what I think. I
You
mean,
have
I don't
to
know.
factor in all of those things when you talk about these. Like, oh, Scott Perry, didn't get it done. Well, was Washington just making sure that they had a plan B if they couldn't get AD
My
done?
gut tells me that AD was number 1 on their list.
Yeah.
They were dead, lasered in on Anthony Davis, and they felt like him as a two-way player, his upside when he's on the floor could pair well with their young core and Trae Young. And if you go AD versus Sabonis, yeah, there's a durability thing that comes into question with Anthony Davis as always. But like if you go just straight up Anthony Davis, Sabonis on the floor healthy, who has more upside for a team?
AD.
It's Anthony Davis. He's
100%.
He's a legit two-way talent that Sabonis doesn't have in his game.
No. And that's, and again, availability is the best ability. We always talk about that. And yes, you're going to get more playing time out of Sabonis, but what is Washington trying to do? They're trying to make a big move, and they have now 2 bigs in AD and Alex Sarr who can play above the rim, be those lob threats, but also, like you said, be two-way guys, especially on the defensive end, protecting the rim.
I think the tough thing for Kings fans, well, there's so many tough things for Kings fans right now,
But this
right?
one's the toughest.
Because, 3-4 years ago, this was the best story in the league. And I was on the Athletics NBA trade deadline show early this morning talking about things. And I had mentioned why this is so tough. Like we got a sample, a little taste of success and thought this could be something you could build on. And you didn't. And right when I said that, everyone that was on that show was like, oh, dude, they were such a fun team to watch. That was awesome. They were my favorite team to watch. And I'm like, yeah. And I kind of slumped because I'm like, yes.
And it just went away like
and it hurts.
that.
So now Kings fans don't have a lot of hope right now. Okay.
No.
In this moment, this is as low as it gets, right? Because you're a 12-40 team. Even if you like some of the young guys, and I do like some of the Kings' young guys, Neat Clifford, you like Dylan Cardwell, Maxime Reynaud, could there be something there? Finally seeing some Devin Carter run, get some minutes. Okay. But you don't look at those guys as stars of the future.
But also seeing that you're one of the worst teams in the NBA this year, going up to the draft that has elite freshman talent.
That's the hope, though.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
That's the hope that is left. But now,
Yes.
my whole point
That's the
though
hope.
is like if you're the common fan, okay,
Yeah,
and there's hardcore fans here that are of course upset, and there's hardcore fans that are like, dude, this is going to be tough to do anyway, moving
Yeah.
these contracts. I kind of fall in that category of I went to this deadline going, yeah, I could see why teams would be interested, but you don't. Dennis Schroeder. The Cavs wanted Schroeder. His contract, I know Kings fans think it was like the worst contract ever. I mean, $13 million. They know what they're getting in him, and they get Keon Ellis, right? I felt like those two were one of the more like appealing assets that Sacramento had. The point I'm making though is like outside of that, my stance going to the deadline is like, good luck moving any of these guys. Like it's going to be really hard. And so now the point is when you're just the Kings fan that comes to the arena and you're like, God, this team, I know all these names because I pay attention to the league. I see Westbrook out there. You're starting DeRozan. I see Sabonis. This team is awful. It doesn't look connected. It's not a good product on the floor. They're losing games.
Awful.
Why are they still here? And that's hard for fans to wrap around.
Yeah.
So when you don't have that hope at this point,
Yeah.
that's really tough. And you're right. Yeah, a top draft pick could change everything for
Could.
Sacramento going forward. The one other thing I wanted to bring up too, we saw a little bit of a switch up last night with Sacramento. If you're watching the game, good on you. We watch every single Kings game. And look, I may need serious intensive therapy after watching the amount of Kings basketball we have watched over
Amen.
the years with all the toughness that we've seen. But late in that game, you saw young guys playing down the stretch,
Yeah.
Neek, Dylan Cardwell, and Devin Carter. That's great.
Closing the game.
But what I'm going to tell you right now is the shift has to be on today with the starting lineup.
I agree.
If you're a fan going to a game, you do not want to show up on Friday night and see old in the starting five. Okay,
Levine,
you don't.
Russ,
No.
DeMar, Sabonis, and then Hunter was
And
in there.
These may be tough conversations, but these are conversations you have to have.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we are switching things up. I mean, if it leads to, hey, well, I want out, well, then you might have to have a buyout conversation with Russell Westbrook. You might have to have a buyout conversation potentially with DeMar DeRozan if you wanted to go that route. And maybe that's the path they should go with those two, right? It's like, hey, these guys have shown that they can help other teams. Their contracts, DeRozan makes way more, but Russ, like, because the young guys should be getting starting opportunities, and the majority of the minutes, these vets do not need to play every game down the stretch.
I know there's people today at the trade deadline that are like feeling hopeless or disappointed, and I'm none of those things right now. Where I will be is if we don't see that shift. That is where I will be so disappointed. I'll be disappointed with the front office not being able to make that shift or having those tough conversations. Doug Christie and his coaching staff not going in that direction, because I think that is so very important for the rest of this season. Not so much so the Kings are in a position where tankathon, they're trying to win these games against Washington, against Memphis, and they're still losing.
Well, I don't know about Memphis. I mean, the way they closed down the stretch, they were not playing their veterans. Well,
Okay.
that was a shift.
But
But in the past, I'm with you. It's like,
but my point
during
is-
this season, they have been trying to win.
Yes. And so I guess my point is then seeing that shift and seeing those young guys get those valuable minutes is what we need to see from this Kings roster, because that is going to be your possible future going into next year, or maybe you even want more time with them and everything else. And that's why I know for so many people, when we didn't see Keon Ellis playing in these minutes throughout this entire season because that shift never happened, that was very frustrating. I hated seeing that. I also hated seeing someone like Keon Ellis rot on the bench. I also hated seeing the reputation that it built for Keon and his value and how people perceived his game, whether it was like the stats love Keon, but coaches don't love Keon.
And that point is it too, is like, then there's a perception, even if the league likes him, they're going, God, they're not even playing him in Sacramento. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll just sneak in there and try to, low value this. Like, let's, this is what we're offering.
And it kept being pushed out there that his value is so high and 14 teams want him and all the different things. And again, there's so many layers to that. You have to remember who's putting that out there, who is playing politics and making sure that that's going to be his reputation and everything else. So yeah, I think that all together, when it comes to the Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder trade that happened this week, I liked it because I like DeAndre Hunter, but I also understand the frustration for so many people being like, well, Scott Perry and his crew did sign Dennis Schroeder to get in the way of Keon Ellis and everyone else. That is such a valid point, but I'm still happy with the shift that was made.
Yeah, I my thought was simple with the Keon stuff, dude. Like, if this was going to be the only move they made, and that was, I think I offered that as like, that's the worst possible scenario. If we get to the deadline, the only move they make is Keon Ellis getting moved, then that's going to hurt a lot. And that's where I'm at. And again, I'm not even proclaiming Keon Ellis as like some superstar. I'm not even saying that he should have been here long term for Sacramento. I think there's a serious case to be made that giving Keon like $15 million a year on this team with where they're headed maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, because I feel like he elevates good teams more than he would help this type of team.
Yep.
Like, he's a really good role player.
He'd be miscast.
But your job as a front office is trying to like maximize what you have to the fullest.
Absolutely.
And for Sacramento, who had this awful letdown of a season last year after the Fox trade, fire Mike Brown, they get bounced in a play-in game that was disgusting against the Mavs. My thought this year is I wanted to come in this year. I want to see, what do you have in Keegan Murray? Well, he's been hurt. Okay. I want to see Keon Ellis get more opportunity. Devin Carter. None of these things happened.
Yeah.
And instead, you're seeing not only vets on the team, but vets play a lot of minutes on the team. And to see games a lot of times this year where DeRozan's playing 37, 38 minutes, or 35 for Russ, or this guy's getting a ton, it's infuriating, because you're like, well, we don't even know what we have in the young guys, but I know what these guys are.
Yeah.
I know what Westbrook does in the league. All right. He's 18 years in. I know what DeMar DeRozan has accomplished in this league. I know who Zach LaVine is. And so not shifting earlier to this mindset, it was a huge mistake by this group, in my opinion. You needed to play these young guys sooner. You needed to be like, sorry, Zach, you're coming off the bench, or not playing, or hey, sorry, Russ. You had to make these switches earlier.
The first thing that Sabonis was asked, or one of the first things in his exit meetings last year, was about, like, what are some needs you guys? And he said, we need a point guard, like, period. And that was it. That was how he answered it. We need a point guard. Well, the Kings then went on the search for the point guard. And when they signed Dennis Schroeder, we were like, cool. But when we still kept hearing that there was rumblings of Russell Westbrook, we're like, whoa. Kings don't need multiple point guards. Now, I'll say this. When Keegan Murray went down and there was no depth obviously at that wing position, it made it more clear, like, okay, you do need depth at point guard.
Sure.
Like, what else can you add? But adding another veteran in Russell Westbrook that needs to play, especially when it's here in Sacramento, it's such bullshit. It sucks that the Kings were put in that position, because I wanted to see if Nick Clifford not necessarily could be point guard and labeled and identified as point guard, but can he be primary ball handler? Can he be facilitator? Can he be organizer out there? And that took away from Keon even being in that role. And we've talked about that multiple times, but that's why I think when you look at both those guys being signed, I understood needing a point guard and maybe even wanting some depth there. I just don't like how that turned out, but I'm glad that they got rid of one point guard.
When we first started talking about the prospect of either Schroeder or Russ, and then the word got out that no, it's actually Russ and Schroeder.
Yep.
I'm like, I go back to some of the videos we
God.
did. We were, and everything that we talked about then
happened.
It
literally happened.
We literally go, if you add both of these guys,
this person's not going to play.
Who's
This
not
person's not going to
playing?
play.
Who's not playing? And all of it was impacting Nick Clifford, Keon Ellis,
Malik
Malik Monk,
Monk.
and Devin Carter.
Yeah.
And so now we're here, fast forward the trade deadline, and all of the guys that were in front of them before, for the most part, are here, or Schroeder and Ellis are gone. And so that's a tough pill to swallow for Sacramento today, because I think they had some assets. They were not maximized in the way they should have been. I want to get to a couple of super chats. Ben donates $8. Appreciate you. Why did we sign Westbrook, and why is he still on the team? Killed Monk, Schroeder, Keon's value with DMPs. Process inexcusable, selling low on Keon. And that's exactly what we were just talking about. I hear Wanson donates $10 saying, we're at where no fandom wants to be: indifference. Kings better get ready for a massive empty arena. Attendance moving forward. Apathy is very strong and hard to break. Really sad to see. Yeah, I mean, these fans have been put through a lot.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, even last night you saw it with the Grizzlies game. And again, it's against the Grizzlies, but on a Wednesday night. But it wasn't as full as I'm used to seeing on some of these nights where this Kings team is still losing and fans are like, all right, we got it. You got to give them some hope to get them to actually want to be there. And I think that's something that everyone wished would have happened more of at the trade deadline, but I don't think it's going to be there. I think it's going to be at the draft, and then you're going to see people excited and hopeful once again.
Yeah, I mean, a top draft pick would get people excited.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's still going to be some time.
Absolutely.
I think it's Jake in the chat donates $5. Do we start questioning Scott Perry yet, or are these contracts really that bad? A lot of rumors and opportunities to get off Sabonis. Look, I mean, I think you obviously do what you want. You can question it.
Yeah.
I think Scott Perry walked into the most challenging situation in the league, and I would say yes, the contracts are that bad. These deals are not good, and I think that's proven to be the case.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't lining up to trade for $48 million of Sabonis for multiple years. Levine at 48, DeRozan at 25, Monk at 20. You put yourself in a really tough position, and you're kind of stuck at this moment.
And that's why even Deuce is right. I mean, like, feel however you want to feel. If you want to feel like I want things to happen right now, or even if it's irrational thinking, you're allowed to do whatever you want. But at the same time, too, like I mean,
we're questioning everything. We just questioned some of the moves Scott made over the offseason.
Oh, absolutely. But I also keep going back to, like, and this is just how my personality works. I did the same thing with Monty in the beginning and everyone else. I go, they've only been here for a few months. You're still cleaning up whatever job was left for you and still trying to create your own identity, your own team, whatever else. And so there's a process to it. But I also understand in sports when people are like, but I want it now. I want it now. I want it at the trade deadline.
Well,
I want it now.
The other thing too is it's what we talk about all the time. Like, I even have a tough time uttering the word patience.
I can say it.
Yeah, I know you can, but my point is, you're asking a fan base,
I know,
to be patient. That's going, are you serious? Like, you
been
referenced this
patient.
earlier. We had a comment last night in the chat that said, the Kings moved here when I was 14 years old and I'm now 54. Will they ever win a championship before I die? And that's the perspective is
no.
like, you've had so many, they've been here 40 plus years now, right? And it's been a lot of losing.
A lot
of losing. And even lottery picks, I even bring this up. It's like, I'm excited about the draft lottery because I think this draft is really good. I remember the days of being excited about draft lotteries, and the Kings fans have been excited about the lottery too, especially when they had 8 straight years of being a playoff team, one of the better teams in the league in that, 98 to 06. And then it kind of went downhill. There was excitement about being back in the lottery, but you've been on the lottery so much with so many missed draft picks over the year. That's even hard for fans to get excited for. So it's a really tough thing. And that's why now the Kings, literally, they have to lean into the young guys down the stretch of this season. I was at the game last night. I was at the game. You were at the game last night. You know what we noticed right away? A different jolt of energy when the young guys were in there. The ball moved more.
Oh my God.
It doesn't mean they're great and like, oh my God, these are stars. Nope. But I could tell you, like we said, we know what you have in the vets. I want to see these young guys go out there and make mistakes, but I know even if they're not as talented, there is an effort level, there's a compete level, there is sharing of the basketball that we don't see with the other group.
Something as simple as this, and I said this last night, Maxime Reno, you look at his box score, his stat line last night, and you're like, yeah, whatever, right? Like, whatever. Not from what we saw like in December. But I was watching him specifically, not even watching the ball. And there's so many moments he's flashing through the paint. He's moving without the basketball. He's screening off his guy so one of the guards can have a nice open lane to the basket. And even just seeing him do those little things out there, it brought me excitement because I love when we're seeing young guys play fundamental basketball and seeing growth out of them game by game. Now, I don't want to watch that for 5 years. I don't even want to watch that for 3 more years. I want to see tweak after tweak after tweak. But that's where my hope lies with the shift in some of the minute distribution as of last night.
Devin says compete level, take a drink. Well, I mean, that's definitely important. It's part of it. Sorry. Drink. I mean, I'll take a drink for that.
Cheers.
Now, where the Kings stand going forward. So we mentioned the pick. They could buy out a couple of these vets. I don't know. I'm just not betting on that at that point. I would say if DeMar wants to be bought out, there's got to be a serious conversation about it. I mean, I feel bad for him, to be honest. I know the Kings were trying to move him. I don't even know what the particulars were of any rumors or anything. I'm sure he is a guy that wants to go somewhere
Yeah.
else. Like he signed here with like Fox and Sabonis and Mike Brown, and then 2 months later it all goes bad.
Straight to shit.
For him and where he is at in his career, I'm like, dude, find a way to buy him out and just let him go somewhere else so he can play some meaningful basketball down the stretch. And on top of that, it takes someone off your team. I mean, realistically, are you moving him next year and getting anything out of it? Probably not. He's got a $10 million guarantee deal. I don't think there's any problem with buying him out the rest of this year and whatever that is, and allowing him to go off into wherever he wants to go because he has gone about his business the right way in Sacramento.
I mean, that's what the Clippers, I mean, they didn't buy out James Harden, but that's what they did with James Harden in the sense of just making.
They traded him.
They just wanted to make things right with him as soon as he's like, I want to be a part of a contending team. This team isn't going to be it in the West. Please, can you move me, especially if my value's high? It's 36-year-old, whatever. They got Garland back and everything else. My point to that, though, is like making that shift for some of these older guys that are on some of their final years being in the NBA, and especially the professional ones like a DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, do right by him.
Either way, there has to be that dramatic shift. So, anyway, the big picture thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
So after next season, I mean, going into next year, you would have DeRozan's deal coming up, whether that's the partial guarantee of $10 million or the full guarantee of 25. That's off the books after next year, expiring.
Okay.
DeAndre Hunter expiring.
Okay.
Levine, $48 million expiring.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money coming off the books. And
Expirings are attractive to people around the league.
They can be.
Depending
Absolutely.
on
No,
what
they
it
can.
is.
I think Levine's $48 million is not as attractive because, again, $48 million, that's
Correct.
a lot of money. But either way, like the worst case scenario there is you let those guys expire and those money come off the books. I know the counter to that from fans listening is, oh, cool. To sign who? No one wants to come here. Look, if they're in this rebuild situation, it's not just about signing. You can acquire if you have cap space, you could trade into that cap space and take on a bad contract and take on draft capital.
Yeah.
That's how other teams have done it in the past. It's like, all right, yeah, we have cap space. We're not ready to make this jump right now.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and take this. Hey, we'll take Pirtle's deal. If there's only 2 years left, you're going to offer 2 firsts for it. We'll let him sit here in Sacramento. So I think there is some hope there. It's like, all right, this money starts getting cleared off the books. You got a top pick. You're probably not going to be any good next year,
No.
of course. You're going to have another top pick, and then you got to nail your picks.
You just
I
have
mean,
to.
none of this shit's easy, dude. I don't. It's not fun going into the arena and going, all right, dude, another loss. Okay, what does this all mean? You want something to feel hopeful about and meaningful, and that's why down the stretch of the season, let me see Devin Carter play.
Yeah.
Let me see Nate Clifford cook.
That's all we're
Let these
asking.
guys run and let them. I want them playing the majority of the minutes.
I'm with you on that. Even if that means just like you said, making sure that the starting lineup doesn't look like what it looked like last night. It's you feel hopeless, and these guys are professionals. Have the tough conversations with them and do what you need to do for the future of this team. It's a business at the end of the day, and some of these guys just need to be talked to.
Man.
I know.
I could spend hours just thinking about like the missteps along the way. Like you think about some of the trades last year, the Davion one, the
Deuce.
Sasha one, even this year with Saric for Valanciunas.
Deuce.
Like there's just so, and even the Laravia one, like I liked adding Laravia, but you looked at like some of the draft compensation they gave up to get those deals, and none of these guys are here anymore.
Different front office too.
I know.
So like that's that's the thing that I just keep going to, not in my mind to be like, oh, fingers crossed, different front office, so maybe different things. No, I mean that's truly how it is. Usually when there's a different front office, there's just different ways of going about things and a shift in the identity of what they want the team to look like and how they want to go about things, even during the draft and everything else. I mean, we went into this draft last year not having a first round pick, and then they got a first round pick, turned it into Nate Clifford, still wondering what he is, hoping he can have more opportunities, get a second round guy in Maxime Reno and an undrafted guy in Dylan Cardwell. Feeling good.
Yeah.
But positive about them.
Yeah.
Not acting like anyone's going to be a star, an all-star, or anything like
They
that.
look like they could be NBA players.
That's it. And right there, as we're months into Scott Perry and the new front office, I'm like, cool. All right, now let's see them get even more opportunities. Where's that shift coming? We saw a little bit of it last night. Can it continue going into April?
In the chat, the Zach LaVine trade really set back the rebuild. I mean, that's what it comes
Absolutely,
back to.
dude.
It's like if you had just gone with a different approach in the Fox
Oh my
trade,
God.
where the contracts you took back were just not
I can't
long
even
term
it
and
makes me
broken
sick.
up. Yeah.
No. It makes
mean,
me sick talking about. I don't like it. I don't like it, so I don't want to talk about it.
A couple of NBA trade deadline notes around the league. Giannis ends up staying put. John Morant stays put.
Yep.
No trades happen with those two. I would say one of the more significant trades down the stretch, the Indiana Pacers.
Absolutely.
And the
Good
Clippers.
for them.
Ivica Zubats,
Yep.
Kobe Brown going to Indiana for Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks, and also a second-round pick, I believe. The picks, a 2029 unprotected first-round pick, and then a 2026 first-round pick that the Pacers protected 1 through 4 and 10 through 30.
Yep.
Now, if that pick does not convey this year, meaning it falls between 1 and 4, stays with the Pacers. If it goes to 10 and 30, goes to the Pacers. If it does not convey, that turns into a future, I think, 2031 first round pick unprotected going to the Clippers. I actually love this deal for both teams.
Same.
I mean,
both teams
Zubats'
win.
value as a big,
28 years old, great contract.
great contract,
Yep.
like 19, 20 million a year under contract for the next 3 seasons. And you add him to Siakam and Halliburton, and you have the right protections on the pick. You get a top 4. They probably feel good about being in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
They get a top 4 pick in this draft. Holy shit, they got a good player, whether that's Boozer, whether it's Wilson or AJ. Who the hell knows how that all goes about? But they could get someone good. Now, if it falls 5 to 9, maybe they're willing to accept that. They don't love those players, maybe in that range. So there's a bit of risk there. And for the Clippers, they needed to start like thinking about the future.
As soon as James Harden, they traded away James Harden, they had to think, okay, where do we want to go? They started off this year as top 3 oldest teams in the league. And now they're getting younger.
Garland, Mathurin, who's going to be a restricted free agent, Isaiah
Picks.
Jackson, picks.
Yep.
And who knows what Kawhi Leonard situation is next year. Like, do they look to trade him in the offseason and get something back? And it's like, all right, now we're really starting this. And it's painful because they swung and missed. They took chances, took some big hacks, right? When they got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Oof.
Injuries. So much shit gone wrong. And
Chris
this
Paul,
is where they're at.
Even.
Yeah, dude, Chris Paul got traded too, and he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah. No, so I love it though for Tyrese and Zubats to be together on the floor with Siakam, Nembhard. They like, even without Mathurin, they have so many dogs. They have an identity. You add Zubats in there, you get him and Tyrese, 2-man game, put him in the short roll, stop, pop, protecting the rim, all the different things. They got their big, especially after losing someone like Miles Turner last year.
And it just goes to show you the types of bigs that teams are coveting right now. Like, bigs are still valuable. You saw Anthony Davis, who is pure just, it's like, hey, if he's healthy, for sure.
Yes.
We're going to take the if the healthy part because of his ability to be a two-way guy and protect the rim.
That's
and if
it.
you can't do that as a big, it's going to be challenging. There's going to be fewer teams. Like, for Sabonis to
That's
have
it.
a ton of value in the league, well, you know what I mean, in terms of being valuable to a team.
Yeah.
It has to be the perfect setup. And I thought Sacramento had a good setup in year 2 of Sabonis when they had Herter and Monk and Keegan and Barnes and Fox. It wasn't perfect, but they had spacing, they had shooting, and they had unselfish players willing to move the ball. And so his weaknesses were masked a little bit,
Sure.
at least offensively. But to really maximize it, you have to have length
Rim
around
protection.
him, a rim protection that they don't have. And even that, you're still going to be limited to some regard if you have Sabonis as your 5 in the league. Well, now Sacramento doesn't have shooting. They don't have ball movement and unselfish players in that starting group. And what do you know? Sabonis doesn't look like the same guy at all.
No.
And so that's the next step is, dude, if I'm the Kings down the stretch of the season, I'm playing Sabonis with Nick Clifford. I'm playing him with all these young guys,
Yeah.
throwing some double bigs and trying to get him in lineups where he can thrive more and play more his style of game. So teams go, oh yeah, I can kind of see
How
that.
many times have we seen it down this stretch when coming back from injury from Domas Sabonis when he's with that second unit, when he was coming off the bench in that Cleveland game, getting them back into it and everything else, making it a competitive game. And then even last night, he was in different lineups where it was just like when he was with the younger guys, ball was moving. People were running. It was beautiful basketball. And it's just something that we want to see more of. I mean, like you said, maximize his talent, utilize him while he's in these years where you're looking to possibly get off him and his contract, but making him look good and trying to get the most you can from him.
Taking a step back, any favorite moves around the league? Any trades that you're like, oh, dude?
Dude. Let's bring it down here. But Jose Alvarado,
That's fun.
to the Knicks, just for Mike Brown. That's just like a perfect type of feisty little player that you can throw at anyone, give you that edge that you need, especially because you see what Cat doesn't provide with that edge at times, even though I know like last night or the other night, he had like blood everywhere and looked pretty badass,
I know he definitely made sure to post that on social media too.
Did
on
he
his
really
Instagram.
post it? Jesus Christ.
He didn't let people know.
He just took it down 7 notches of being badass. But yeah, so like they add another guy that brings that edge that Brunson and Hart want to play with, want to be with.
I like the Wolves adding Io Dosumu today.
Yes.
They gave up 4 second-round picks,
Yeah, they
Dillingham and Miller. And, I think when you look back at the trade on draft night where they acquired Dillingham, they gave up a 2031 unprotected first. That's actually now with Sacramento from the Fox trade, and a 2030 top 1 protected pick swap to get Dillingham. I mean, that was a huge fucking whiff. I mean, a massive whiff by that group. But, all right, can't do anything about it now. We got to pivot. Dillingham was just not fitting with what they were doing. They needed a guard. They needed someone. They're old. They get rid of Conley. Could he technically come back? He could. If he bought out, he could. They could re-sign him. But I think Io is going to be a good fit for them as a two-way guy. He's got some toughness to him. He could defend. He could score. And they've got his bird rights, so they could give him a new deal this offseason.
One of the trades that obviously didn't happen today, but that did almost nothing for me, would be the Golden State in Atlanta. Porzingis coming
Such
to
a
Golden
weird
State.
one, dude.
It's weird.
I mean, the Kuminga thing, how they handled that the last few years
Weird.
is a major whiff. And now you take on Porzingis, who's had major health issues.
Yeah.
And so
there's my highs and my lows of the
I'm trying
last
to think of my
24
other high.
hours.
I like what Memphis decided to do. And I even like what Utah did with the Jaren Jackson thing.
Yeah.
I know it's like, hey, you have to pick a winner of a trade. Like, you know what? No, I'm not. Because although this was an aggressive move by Utah, they're clearly high on Keontae George. You bring back Walker Kessler. If not, he's going to have value around the league. We'll see. Marketing, Jaren Jackson, and have a top 5 pick potentially.
Yep.
Dude, that's pretty intriguing. And then Memphis just being honest with themselves. And, they didn't get off Morant soon enough. That would probably be their big miss. But look, they got rid of Bane and got a ton of draft capital from that trade. Same with Jaren Jackson Jr. And they've picked a path now. And to that team's credit, they have an identity where they have guys that just come in there, share the ball, and they play hard. Last night, you look at the lineup that was killing it for the Memphis Grizzlies against the Kings. And then we're talking about Ty Jerome coming back after missing 46 games, getting the switch with Sabonis on him and just destroying him every time. Or Cam Spencer down the stretch.
Jalen Wells.
Yeah, I mean, so they're not like, oh my God, holy shit names. But like as they start this, they've got draft capital and like to try to really start this process.
Absolutely. And they didn't rush anything with John Morant. Like they believe that they could still get more for him. And maybe there's a team that is looking for a point guard like John Morant in the offseason. And that's the direction that they go as they continue this new direction.
And I even think the AD trade. I'm
agree.
always conflicted about Anthony Davis.
Very conflicted.
But for what the Wizards gave up, Middleton's expiring, AJ Johnson, Branham, Marvin Bagley, 2 first-round picks, and those picks an OKC late first.
Yeah.
And then a 2030 Warriors pick, top 20 protected pick. I'm like, dude, that's the calculated risk you take. Like, go compete in the East and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Also, Giannis went on
Thought I just wanted to see
social
that.
media and posted a clip of Leo of "I'm not fucking leaving" from Wolf of Wall
Saying
Street.
legends don't chase, they attract. And thank you, Sandwich Magic, for the donation and for alerting us with that.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the Anthony Davis thing. I like that deal. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've been there.
I mean, getting Anthony Davis and Trey Young and not giving up a ton of picks. You didn't give up any picks for Trey Young, and you gave up 2 whatever picks to get Anthony Davis, swinging a home run by the Washington Wizards front office. Let's get to some final thoughts, I guess.
Yeah. Final thoughts. NBA trade deadline week. I had a good time. I had so much fun, especially in this shitty King season when there's not much to look forward to every single post game, breaking down what's going on, which we do, and we'll be here for the rest of the season doing it, having fun no matter what. But like when you get those extra little things of trades happening all throughout the week in between, I love this league. I love the NBA, and I'm just so glad that we got this NBA trade deadline week.
In the chat, final thoughts already? Well, we've been doing this pod for 45 minutes on top of the 2 hours before that. So yes, we are at final thoughts. I'm exhausted from
We're about
the
3
last
hours
week.
in.
My final thoughts, someone else in the chat was saying it's going to be at least 3 years away from possible contention. I mean, absolutely at least 3 years from being in any
Maybe
type
more.
of contention, maybe for a playoff spot. And look, we're both born and raised in Sacramento. It's not easy dealing with the last really year of the wildness around the Sacramento Kings, going back to the Mike Brown firing and De'Aaron trade and what it's been since. It's really hard. And what I would just say is I do truly believe this is the low of low points. Okay?
Fingers crossed.
You're in this tough spot now.
Mm-hmm.
This season, there's 30-something games left. It's going to be rough, but the season has been rough. Try to be re-energized when the Kings get a good lottery pick and be excited about the draft, and hopefully you start seeing some light in the distance and hope for the best. That's all you can do. I mean, as a sports fan, hope is such a powerful thing. And if there's some level of hope, you feel amazing. And I think the challenging aspect of where we sit today as the NBA trade deadline is over and the Kings do not make another move is you don't feel a lot of hope right now. That sucks. So I'm confident that this is the low point, and we'll get through this because we've gone through a lot of different shit, and we'll get through it. And hopefully we look back at this time and go, oh my God, do you remember this? That's why we have this moment jar full of crappy moments this year. It's like, we need to remember these times too.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, enjoy the good times because you never know how long they last. Remember these moments too. And let's hope they get out of it and we can celebrate together.
And now I'm going to sleep.
Damn. Yep.
Night night.
We appreciate you guys so much. We love you guys. But we got to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Darren Peterson, AJ. What was it got? AJ or Cam Boozer, Morgan?
Bye.
Morgan, Caleb. What do you think about
Bye.
Caleb Wilson and dude, number 1 pick? Oh.
Bye.
All right, see ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you